how would it turn out? I just said I think like already it's the month all the time again. Maybe make a treat Christmas, but I just said I'd bring that just to see how it is. And it could be Hurling, I don't know what it is. There's 3 Hurling there, top 2.
need a tripod. You won't keep still when the crowd shots.
Alright.
One, two.
We'll leave it there. Yeah, will I leave it? Will I pick it up? Yes. Thanks. Will, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's live, so I think you say for there was.
And they held guilty.
Jerry only supports good teams. Look, Barca.
You've gone all independent and everything, you was crowd.
He definitely didn't put on the United colours after yesterday. Huh? She couldn't watch football anymore. Pathetic. Isn't it? What's you watching City or Barcelona? She couldn't watch that. Compared to rugby. Yeah.
Very good, wasn't it?
Which?
Documentary on Axel Foley.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, Lee, yeah. Yeah, I'm ready, yeah. Oh, great. Thanks, Lee. Yeah, brilliant.
Once it's gone. Yeah. Certainly you have to. You're happy.
They'll put him on an Ori Jacob too.
That's what I'm saying. Kevin Sheridan, I heard. If you hold Rory, that's 6 or 7 points.
Which pipe band is that?
Ballydagan, is it?
You in the reading?
Ballydagan, isn't it?
That's the road at the bottom. See Pat Arn. Oh, they did Ballydagan, yeah. Do that shop below have water?
You don't get water in the copper, is it?
I'll keep the change. Get more milk.
Maybe Lawler's when we found her into the hospital, sat in the weight membership. Maybe Lawler's found her into the hospital, tried to really. Yeah. Anyway, for a bit. Who are they playing in that?
what we're doing the Welsh Cup? No, the league starting earlier. So. Yes, welcome to Innovate Wexford Park. Well, it's a glorious day, Blue Ribbon Day, Wexford Club Hurling. Oulart-The Ballagh, a remarkable team in the red and black. They're warming up down on the right on the Wexford Town side, the St. Peter's College side. And of course, the remarkable journey this team have made since they won their first title in '95. They're going for their 14th title in a 22-year a gap, and 3 in a row and 8 out of 9. It is remarkable, and they're up against St. Martin's, their last one in 2008. Incidentally, they beat Oulart-The Ballagh here when Kevin Ryan was in charge. Kevin, of course, has been involved with the Offaly team for the last number of years. Well, Jerry Ford is on my left, Billy Byrne is on my right. We will have Tom Dempsey at some stage. We'll give you the line-outs. Conor O'Leary in goal, Anthony Roach, Keith Rossler and Barry McEwen fill the full-back line for the Oulart-The Ballagh team. Owen Moore, Sean Murphy and Kevin Sheridan in the half-back line, with David Redmond and Tommy Story in midfield. Des Myden is not starting as expected, but he will come on. I was talking before the game. He's recovered pretty decently in the last fortnight. Martin O'Story gets sent forward to Peter Murphy, and Rory Jacob, Garrett Sinnott and Nicky Kerwin in the full forward line, named in the full forward line. But if, as predicted, as happened in a lot of games, we expect that Rory Jacob will move out to play that sweeper role in front of the half-back line in front of midfield. Now the St. Martin's team, Luke White in goal, Willie Devericks, Patrick O'Connor, Conor Furman in the full-back line, Donny Waters, Aaron Maddock and Paddy Kelly in the half-back line, with Harry O'Connor and Mark Maloney in midfield. Jake Furman, Joe O'Connor, Jack O'Connor in the half-forward line, although I'd say that will be changed. Kieran Ling, Rory O'Connor and Darren Todd in the full-forward line. The referee today is James Owens, with John Carson and Niall MacDonald on the wing, doing the linesman, and it's a special day and it's an extraordinary journey for this Oulart-The Ballagh team. You're talking about Radnor and Buffers Alley's dominance. Incidentally, Buffers Alley will get a presentation, the centenary team. They've achieved that success, I suppose, all on their own. Radnor and Buffers Alley's spread around the achievements for a number of years, didn't they?
Yeah, well, I suppose in those, back in the 70s and 80s, Buffers Alley and Radnor, there was two dominant teams, but in the last 23 years there's only been one Wexford, and that's Oulart-The Ballagh. They've been a fantastic club in Wexford, and I know back in the 70s and 80s we saw them last a lot of county finals, and we wonder would ever make the breakthrough, but it just shows you when you make that breakthrough, you know, they went on for great success afterwards, and I'm sure for any team trying to break through, we talk about Mayo football losing all, if Mayo ever break through they'll go on to win more, but once you get over the line that first day, and Oulart haven't looked back ever since then, a fantastic record, and they know it's testament. A lot of these players are there for over a decade now, and they still have that hunger to win him, and that's the key thing. But you know, we were in Belfield earlier in the year when we saw these two teams play, and we said if they're in a county final, we'd hope we'd a great county final, and let's hope we're neutral here today and we can sit back and enjoy it.
Absolutely, we are of course neutral, and the two boys alongside me are neutral as well. Tom Dempsey is getting presented today with all your former Buffers Alley teammates. Tom, at half time, is it?
At half time, yeah, it's 25 years now since we won our last one, so I didn't think walking off the field down there 25 years ago that we wouldn't win one since, but it's nice that everyone together, Liam, and it's a nice idea from the Wexford County Board, so all the lads are there, and sure, look, that's the only thing you have now really, is the little bit of limelight maybe when you go out 25 years later, but it's nice now, you know, nice to meet the lads, because you wouldn't be talking to them every day of the week really, you know.
I was just on to the Crown 4 players and the Pro Ball players, the under 21 game before. It was a great opportunity for them, Billy and Tom, because they wouldn't play it in front of a crowd like this, so you know, Neil McLaughlin was telling me he was over the Crown 4 team. He was a little bit worried about the crowd and about the playing here. Is it great that they got a chance to play here?
Oh, I tell you, Liam, it really was, and I have to say it was a very high standard game as well, Liam. You know, there was some fantastic scores. I only caught the second half, but some fantastic scores. There was one fella that just caught me eye. Billy probably knows a bit more about him, but Oliver Dorn in the middle of the field, number 9, Jeepers.
He's not a small man.
He's not a small man. He's exactly what you'd be looking for inter-county hurling, and maybe he's a fella that David could have a quick look at anywhere, if not around.
Well, he's here today. He saw most of it.
Yeah, and I mean, I thought everything he did, he set up the last goal, or the second last goal, you know, he did an awful lot of good things, so it's always nice to see new players like that breaking through.
Now, Tom, they're your neighbours out at the Ballagh, and when, as Jerry said, when they did make the breakthrough by God, they put on the pedal, you know, yourself and Rack, you were dominated over a period of time between the two of you, but this team have dominated 14, going for 14, 22 years, remarkable, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose, Rack, you were challenging them for part of that league more so than anybody else. And the Martins now were the new kids on the block. But, you know, Oulart, they've done what any club should do. They've kept their foot on the pedal. They've kind of made hay when the sun shines, because nothing lasts forever. And again, as I was saying, Liam, you know, you just don't know today, you know, how many more county finals you're going to play in, and so it's going to be very, very interesting. But are we going to see the start of a new era with the Martins, because they certainly have a lot of underage talent, or are we going to see the just a little bit more from Oulart, maybe another 2 or 3 years? But it's an intriguing final, and you know, two best teams in the county playing today.
It's a fair testament to their players, Tom, when you look at the age profile, that fellas drag themselves, not drag, but that they have that commitment, they have that desire to go year after year after year.
It is, Liam, but I'd say Billy would tell you the same. It's an easier commitment to make when you're winning than when you're losing. So, you know, if you're winning county titles and you have a chance of winning one almost every year, it's a lot easier to start training in January, February, March and that, you know. But that's not to take away from the likes of Keith Rossler. You know, you look down through their team, David Redmond, you know, there's serious Garrett in it, Nicky Kerwin. They've nothing really left to prove, but I'd say all they're doing out there is they're just wanting to maximise what they can win for their parish now at this stage. And that's a great tribute to the other team, really, that they're still here, still competing, and probably still favourites today, Liam.
Who'll win it, Tom?
Well, I think we've seen that Desi Migan's not going to be starting, is he, Liam?
No, Dennis Morton is starting.
Yeah, and that's an interesting one, because Desi Migan was the outstanding player Oulart had on the field the last day, so he's a huge loss. And I'd said early on in the week that if Rory O'Connor plays and is fit to play and Desi doesn't play, it's a big swing from one side to the other. I think it's going to be very, very tight, Liam. We'll get a better feel for it maybe after 10 or 15 minutes, but I just have a little suspicion the Martins might just come out with something today and maybe take their first title since 2008.
Oh, where do you see it going, Billy?
Well, I'm a bit different to Tom. I sort of fancy, to be honest with you, I fancy Oulart. Just looking at Rory O'Connor, you know, he's probably been, you know, the most outstanding player in the league this year, in the championship in Wexford. But he's very heavily bandaged there, Liam, and it's not a good sign, you know. There's a lot on the young shoulders there today, and, you know, Keith Rossler, that full back line for Oulart are very, very good. And, you know, I think if the shackles are put on Rory, which is very hard to do, you know, the rest of the forwards for the Martins are definitely going to have to come up. But in saying that, if you start from the full back line, you know, Willie Deveriggs, Patrick O'Connor and Conor Furman have played very well for the Martins as well. As they're a very, very young team. They mightn't, even if they don't get over the line this year, Liam, you'd always think in the next couple of years that they are going to be the team to beat in both hurling and football the way they're going. And it's a credit to the club down there, the work that they put in. That you know, that I think they've won the under-21. They're in the minor football final. You know, they're in finals all over the place. So it's a fair, you know,
it's against yourselves generally. Yourselves and Gorey, themselves and Gorey are dominating at underage.
Yeah, well,
and the Premier grade.
In fairness, they've dominated also, but they have, you know, and I suppose when you look down through the team, that all of these young guys they've all won county, Premier, minor, under-21. So it's not that they're not used to winning. They're definitely used to winning. But I think it's a big task today for them to maybe a step too far. But if Rory is not 100% fit, I think it's a problem for the Martins.
And the Martins are going to have to nullify Rory Jacobs' contribution to the game, Tom, and it's very hard to pick up a loose man like that, isn't it?
Well, it is, Liam, and I think the big contrast to the two teams is the Martins will burn you with pace, and you know, you look down through the Kieran Lings, you look down through the Joe O'Connors, the Jack O'Connors, the Rory O'Connors, Jake Furman. They have a lot of pace, whereas Rory and Oulart play a different type of game. They play a game of movement, and what they basically do is they steal. Rory will steal 4 or 5 yards from each player, and when one of the backs get it, Sean Murphy maybe, they'll pick him out and he'll do the damage from then, Liam, you know. So that's going to be slightly different, but certainly Rory, you know, it's a game of contrast.
And in respect of the final, lads, both of you, did you played in the county final, Billy?
No, I was unlucky. The boy alongside me here beating in a few quarterfinals and that, but no, definitely not. We're trying to get to one Gorey at the minute, you know, but it's our dream to be in a final. And you know, I've never won a county senior title. I think of all you know, you're looking at the Alley and you're looking at Oulart and Rathnure and all these. It's great to be in one and even participate in one. We haven't done that, but we'd like to think maybe over the next couple of years that we might.
And Tom, you appeared in how many medals have you? 10, is it?
No, I haven't that, Liam. I've 8, I think. But
Well, 8 is not bad now, in fairness.
bad, but-
Don't be greedy.
But it's funny what Billy was saying. I mean, over the years, and I remember Gorey played the Harriers in the semi-final one year. Really had the game wrapped up and should have been in the final. Sometimes it's very hard to make the breakthrough, and then when you do, it can get a lot easier, and you can task out of that. But the one thing I find about county finals, Liam, is it's very hard because of the pressure. It's very hard to have an open game, to hurl freely, to throw off the shackles, because everyone is just afraid of making a mistake, and you have very, very few open county finals, and that's the problem. It may not be a spectacular game today because of that pressure that's on players, and that's the nature of county finals. But I always do find that you find a feel of the game, and we'll find it up here in the where we're standing.
We're standing alongside the hen house.
They're standing beside
the Davies hen house. I was talking to him there a few minutes ago. Hopefully he's going to come over at half time and talk to us. But yeah, as you were saying, sorry Tom, I interrupted your flow there. There's so much expected in county final day, and you'd be nervy, I'd say.
Well, Liam, as we said earlier, you just don't know how many more you're going to play in, and it is the biggest day of the parish, and it's a bit unlike Wexford inter-county games, that you're going around your own village or your own town or whatever, and everyone is asking about the game, everyone is up for the game, and it does put that extra little bit of pressure. And I suppose you can do a good thing in a county final, you'll be remembered forever, but some lads go into it with the idea if you do a bad thing, you can be remembered forever as well. So that's where the pressure comes from, and you have to wipe that out of your mind, and if the players can do that today, I think we'd have a very good final.
You became a genius at scoring frees when everybody was booing at you, and they were cheering you one day with Wexford, and then simply because you were taking the frees for Buffers Alley because of your dominance. And I suppose a bit the same for Oulart, that people were, so you were able to score those frees even when they were having a go at you.
Yeah, it was interesting, Liam. Everyone wants to see a change, and when Buffers Alley were doing the big thing in hurling in Wexford or any county is to be disliked, because if you're disliked, you know that you're doing
successful.
Well, Yeah. And it was interesting this year. I have noticed with the Alley playing the quarter-final, even against the Martins, that an awful lot of the crowd were up for the Alley, up wanting to maybe to come back, and just looking at Gorey carried a big support, and people love to see new teams, Liam, and that's the way it is, a kind of as such, and that's why Oulart, people admire Oulart, but people would like to see a change every so often as well.
And we've a good referee today, lads. Good referee, Billy James Owens, All-Ireland referee.
Yeah, I think he's one of the best in Ireland. And it's nice to see him, taking this on, because I think early on the Martins, I think, played Oulart in the first game of the Martins, so they gave a bit of a lesson to Oulart that day. So Oulart did have that in the back of their minds. But James, I definitely think is the man for the job today.
A big bench, lads. On the Oulart side, I know they brought in Shane Byrne from Coola this year. He trains one night a week, and Frank Flannery trains 2 nights a week. He trains another night.
Yeah, there's a lot but in fairness, Oulart, they have a big bench, but I mean, they still go back maybe to the Dennis Martins, the Murtagh Doyles, and in particularly, I think Martin Oak-Story is one big player, so they'll be looking at maybe 3 or 4 players, Liam, to bring in, and they've always had an impact for Oulart when they have come on.
We're on the vein, the Ballindagan Pipe Band. So there we are, all the formalities are nearly out of the way. I just should say that the SB is not back, electricity is not back in my house, so I apologise to the boys already if I started to smell. But I did manage to have a shower during the week, but the lads have done a great job. The crew, they're out there working their socks off, and no doubt they will be back. So maybe, I've never had as many candlelight dinners in my life, Billy, huh?
You're always a romantic type, anyway.
Yeah, I wouldn't stretch it that far, Billy, but we're almost ready.
I'd say Jane wants the electricity back, Liam, then.
Absolutely. So James Owens getting ready, looking around, he's dressed in royal blue, and the game is on. The 2 linesmen, Niall MacDonald down in front of us, John Carton on the far side, and Oulart are defending the Clonard end. And straight away it'll be interesting, as Tom said, the nerves at the start of this game is with young Kevin Sheridan, who's taken a year out of college. He is doing medicine. He's going back to it next year. He was telling me, Nicky Cowan over there, captain of the team. He already has 10 medals in his back pocket, Nicky Cowan. He's been one of the most consistent goal scorers in club hurling in Wexford. Heavy battling outside. And St. Martin's in the maroon Galway colours over to the far side. Dropped out of the hand straight away of the corner forward and working back in. And good little pressure coming in. Very tight start to this game, understandably. Barry Keogh there, 31 years of age now. Barry working hard and to get the ball out, and of course the condition a little bit sticky, so probably because of all the rain we had, but it's a testament to the staff here that the ground looks so really well. And is the line ball has been, the first line ball is going to down the other side, down to St. Martin's. They're playing to the goal down on the Wexford Town side.
Yeah, and the interesting tactics here, Liam, the first thing I noticed is that obviously Barry Keogh is after picking up Rory O'Connor, and he's going to stick to him like a leech, I'd say, for the game. And interestingly, Nicky Cowan is playing out around the centre forward position, which is where Desi Maiden played last day, and it's an unusual ground for Nicky to be playing on.
Lovely line ball from Joe O'Connor over the far side. He's Arthur's son, of course. He's 20 years of age. The ball well defended by Roy Jacob, popping it off the hurl down into the corner. And it's a lovely ball, well taken by Martin Ogue-Story, and that's the first ball. Oh, he's put it wide. He's put it wide from right in front of the post. Martin Ogue, of course, son of Martin. And that was an opportunity, Billy. He should have taken it, really.
Yeah, there's two big men in the full forward line there, Martin Hogan and
Gareth Sinnott, yeah. And the ball sent up the line, short puck. I was gone up to Willie Devrick, sending it up to the far side. Captain of the football team this year, Willie Devrick. This is an opportunity for the opening score, and it is the opening score. It's almost gone wide. Tom, what's gone wrong down there?
Yeah, there were two, and I mean, you know, it was probably the best forward in the county we've been talking about, was that Rory O'Connor put that wide. I tell you what I think, it was Darren Codd actually, but he actually got caught in two minds. I think he was going to go for a goal, then decided for a point, and then put it widely.
Hook out landing down here, touched away. Nice little take in his left hand as he fell on the ground, then he got the pass away. Harry O'Connor up very close to the sideline. Nice little knock off the hurl from Barry Keogh straight out over the line. That'll be a line ball, the second line ball of the game for St. Martin's, right down in front of us here. We're in the stand in Innovate Wexford Park, and placing it is Harry O'Connor. Harry, of course, is a brother of Jack's and Rory's. You wouldn't want to fall out with that family. You certainly wouldn't want to fall out with the father when he was hurling anyway, Tom.
That's for sure, Liam. And I'm just saying that it seems now that young Kevin Sheridan has picked up Rory O'Connor, so we're just going to have to see what's going to happen as the game goes along, Liam. But it's going to be very, very interesting, but a little bit of nervousness there.
Yeah, almost 3 minutes played in the opening of half of the Pettitts Senior Hurling final. It's Oulart-The Ballagh going for the 14th title. St. Martin's going for the third, the last one 9 years ago. Of course, Oulart going for 3 in a row. They lost out in 14 when they were beaten by Limbarntown in the quarterfinals. Ball down, dangerous ball, run behind Willie Devrick, plenty of experience, part of the background team, but he's blocked down this time. Martin Ogue-Story working the ball in, a dangerous ball in around the area inside, almost getting in on it, but good defending from Conor Furman. The Sliotar, a heavy group outside the small parallelogram, and James Owens has casually walked up, blown the whistle, and good smothering of the ball. Conor Furman did really well. He's only 19 years of age, but I've already been really impressed by him, the two Furman brothers.
Yeah, played very well, you know, this year. Ireland came up to the ranks of minor and under 21. But again, you know, it's great blocking and great work by the full forward line.
Chancing up with Martin Ogue-Story, trying to bull his way through. He got a boot on it, but it was well taken in the left hand by Luke White, the goalkeeper, who was really impressed in the last couple of years. He's 23 years of age, hand passing it off outside the 45, and the referee James Owens saw free there. Was he right, Tom? He was.
Well, I think the hurl was taken out of Joe O'Connor's hand when he gave the hand pass that time, but James seemed to blow it late, but he seems to be on the ball anyway, you know. But Martin Ogue-Story's getting on a lot of ball, and Willie Devrick, and it seems to be a ply. They're going to play the long high ball in.
Well, they have the wind behind them too, Tom, haven't they, this first half?
Yeah, it looks
quite
very
a strongish wind. Maybe it's dropped a little bit.
Yeah, it looks strong in the first game, Liam, but it doesn't look as strong at the moment, you know. But certainly, the game hasn't really settled any trend yet.
One of the most elegant players ever to play club hurling in Wexford, Keith Rossiter's on the ball. He drives it down to the far side. Keith now, of course, 34 years of age, but still a very classy hurler. Kevin Sheridan, who had a slow start to this season, but he's really blossomed down to the other four on the far side. That's Conor Furman on the right cornerback position, hitting it up on the right hand side of midfield. The left hand goes up and pulls it out of the air. Dennis Morton, who's played at full back in his time. The ball down towards Gareth Sinnott. Gareth Sinnott is tough man to mark, but he's second best this time, and a lovely pick and swing around from Joe O'Connor back outside his own 50, leaving it off to his midfielder Mark Maloney. Mark Maloney swinging it across to the far side. Very good footballer, of course, Mark Maloney. They have to deal with football next week again, whatever happens here today. That's a lovely pass out to Rory Jacob, passing it off immediately to Keith Rosser, swinging across to the far side. Good passing of the ball. That's 3 passes from Oulart-The Ballagh, sent down by Sean Murphy. Elegant Sean Murphy, a hang ball inside the 14. Knocked down, on chance of a goal. Here's the goal! It's a goal. The ball was knocked down. Garrett Sinnott finished it. The ball knocked down, and usually Garrett Sinnott knocks them down, but this time it was knocked down to him, and he pulled first time and pulled the trigger.
Yeah, and there was a little bit of naivety in the Oulart defence that time, Liam. Oulart have those 2 big men, Martin Oakstory and Garrett Sinnott. Sean Murphy, direct route, ball down. The 2 Martins backs went under it, left Garrett completely his own. He's finished brilliantly. Great goal for Oulart.
Yeah, and he was just outside. He was inside the 14, so that's really put it up to the county champions. Started well, but that's a good swing from Harry O'Connor, sending it up. Well intercepted by Rory Jacob, who's filling that spare spot down there. And heavy tussle with the ball with Garrett Sinnott. The goal scoring the ball back is the best possible start for the county champions. The referee plays advantage. Dahi Waters has it. Dahi swing it off to this side, but that's not a good pass. Picked up by Keith Rosser out in the right wing back position, would you believe it? Then leaving off a short ball. Lovely little swing of action and picked up, but it won't come up for Nicky Kerwin. Really valuable player to a team. A superb goal scorer over his career, Nicky Kerwin.
Yeah, he's playing very far out the field, but very close, sticking to Rory O'Connor. He just hasn't left his side from the time the ball has been thrown in. But again, you see the pride. You know, Oulart, any way you want to play it, quick ball into the full forward line. The 2 big men in full forward line are causing a lot of problems.
Absolutely, and the line ball down here in front of us outside the 45. It's 1 goal to no score. Martin's yet to score, 7 minutes gone. And the line ball, Aaron Maddock, 20 years of age, up towards midfield. Dahi Waters takes it, slips for a moment, wearing number 5, sending it up into the left corner. Off the hand of the corner forward, Kieran Ling, experienced player Kieran Ling. But Oulart cleared the lines. Dennis Morton down outside the 45, very close to the stand side here. Garrett Sinnott swinging it back with the hurl. David Redmond swinging around him, hitting it high over his shoulder. That's a very good score from David Redmond. He never even looked. He was looking out at the crowd. He had the wind behind him, of course. He was 3 yards in. And a great score, Tom Dempsey.
Yeah, I mean, Oulart really have settled very, very well, Liam. And something that's ominous, and I remember Jerry saying it to me 2 years ago, Rory Jacob is roaming the field like he did a couple of years ago against the Martins, causing major problems, and Keith Rosser seems very comfortable no matter where they bring him on the field.
But this one, his clearance for Keith Rosser is intercepted by Paddy Kelly. Paddy Kelly sending it off to Jack O'Connor. Played centre back and can play centre back, slipping. A lot of players slipping, understandably, but he managed to get away. And as it swung with the wind, a good attempt at the post, and it is gone over from Paddy Kelly. Mind you, lads. Maybe my eyesight is not the best, but that was close, Tom.
Well, it was, Liam, and the stand kind of caught my view of it, but it's certainly tailed off at the very, very end, and possibly must have went over the bar before, but it's a really good settling score for the Martins.
And the ball down, the first score for St. Martin's, coming after 8 minutes. And the ball down, Willie Devericks. His father and mother down on her right. Man is big into ice cream, of course. We're here today in association with Clonroach Agri-Build. Wally and John, they'll fill every need, from a needle to a haystack. And they'll even sell you diesel. Ball slipping around. Chance. Short hook. Given away. Unusually given away by Joe O'Connor. Gratefully accepting as Dennis Morton sending it down. But the St. Martin's defence are on top this time. The ball hand pass out to Dahi Waters. Dahi Waters not hesitating. Driven around. Nice little control, but it was hit too hard at Mark Maloney. He has to struggle to get it, but he leaves it steady. He gets help out from his midfield partner, Harry O'Connor. Harry O'Connor up into the corner. Lovely take a ball from Rory O'Connor. Rory O'Connor lost his hurl, wins a free in. First attempt, first real good chance of a ball, but he was way out from the goal, out inside the 20 and the 14. Very good, vibrant start to this game, Billy Byrne.
Yeah, and one of the older players after saying he's have to bring it in front of the goal there. But again, I think it mightn't be the first time you'll see Rory O'Connor being fouled today. But his referee is after bringing it in off the sideline, just in front, so it should be the first score or the second score here for St. Martin's.
Yes, and David Redmond's point and Garrett Sinnott's goal. And it's a lively start to this game. And Harry O'Connor with a very heavily bandaged right knee. I just hope and pray that this young man doesn't get too many games. He has football to worry about next week. I just hope and pray, Tom, for his own career, that he's not a player of his ability, football, hurling, underage, Peters College, everything this year, he's had no break.
Absolutely, and maybe Liam too, when we're thinking about it, games maybe are not the problem, it's the training is the problem, and if he can get games right, yeah, exactly right.
And the ball down from the puck out, coming across to take it. It's with the number 9, he pulled it, trigger bit quickly there, Tommy Story. Tommy's 26 years of age now, and he was a little bit quick with that one, Tom, or Billy outside the 20 outside the 22.
Yeah, you have to say he's being closed down very quick there, I think, by Aaron Maddock and Conor Furman. You know, he had to try and take a shot. He was in front of the goal all right, but just pulled to the
Yeah, the electrical engineer was the spark was too quick that time. Don't mention electricity to me anyway, Billy. Today I've already mentioned it enough. And there's sticking his hurl in the grounds. He tried to pick that one, Jack O'Connor, and hand passing it back to his goalkeepers, Anthony Roach. Anthony Roach is the youngest member in the backs, along with Kevin Sheridan. Owen Moore, of course, very reliant, and over on the far side. But St. Martin's have settled well into the game now. Dahi Waters, if anybody's given that one away to David Redmond outside of 45, doesn't hesitate when he's hit it wide. Did expect David to do better from that, Tom, with the wind behind him. He was just 5 yards in field on the 45.
Yeah, and he was gifted that from Dahi Waters, you know, it was a short. But I see Keith Roster seems to have a major problem here. Is it a blood injury, maybe? Blood injury, yeah. And I tell you,
Michael Jacob is on.
If you were a Martin selector and wanted to pick one man to pick off the field, it would probably be young Keith Roster. But the Oulart are very simple ploy. They're leaving the two big men in the full forward line, and they're playing long ball into them. And you know, the game is beginning to settle, and the Martins have come into it quite well in the last couple of minutes.
11 minutes played in the Pettitts Senior Hurling Final 2017 version of it. 1-1 to Oulart-The Ballagh, 2 points to St. Martin's. St. Martin's winning 3 in. And there's a little push there, and complaining about that decision is Tommy Story. And maybe, what do you make of the first 10 minutes, 11 minutes, Jerry?
A very, very good game so far. Very free-flowing. I think that's only the second free game, and I think it was a free of the front of the charge. It's been a very free-flowing game, but intriguing game because Oulart playing a different game than usually played, dropping, as we said, dropping these long balls into Garrett Sinnott and Martin Rowe. It was a good game, and all good well for the rest of the game.
And Tom, tomorrow night, your great teammate Tony Dorn, one of the great forwards that ever played hurling. His book launch is on tomorrow night at the Riverside Park Hotel.
That's right, Liam. You know, the greatest full forward I think we've ever known, and hopefully we'll see a lot of Wexford Gales, I'm sure, there tomorrow night. Should be a great night. It's a great book, Liam. I've read it already, and it's well worth a read. I'll tell you, good Christmas present, Liam.
Okay, good man, Tom. And we'll be talking to Tony in the next couple of weeks. Keith Roster back on. Michael Jacob getting a short spin in the county final. I'm not sure how many county finals that would have been. He can say that he played in it. You know, the long puck out on the far side from Conor Birdie O'Leary is the regular goalkeeper now. Ben O'Connor, of course, has been there, and that one very close to the sideline. Heavy battling between the 22 and the 45 over on the uncover side, and a decent crowd here today as well. It's a mild enough day, a little bit of wind after all the wind. Don't mention winds, as you, we have all the wind we had in the horrific storms, and well, everybody is recovering from it, and it's just I suppose we realise the value of community, the value of parish, and the value of neighbours, Billy, when you have bad weather.
Oh, definitely so. Just starting Tom and know a lot about the neighbours out here looking at this, but I think it's a free here for Nicky Kerwin, about 35 yards out on the far side, a chance for Oulart to go further ahead.
Yeah, just a yard in, and he's been a very consistent goal scorer, Nicky. Lifting at the Carpenter, and Nicky sending it. Oh, it came off the post and went wide. He was a little unlucky, Tom.
It's over the bar, Liam.
Oh, it's over the bar, is it? Oh, it came off the inside.
It came off the inside of the upright, and in fairness, it came a long way off it and nearly ended up at the corner flag, but that was actually a very, very good free from Nicky Kerwin. You know, nearly 50 yards out, right on the sideline. Rory had missed one kind of identical just before it, and, you know, free taking could be very, very important today, Liam.
And the puck, I was just telling you, Nicky Kerwin leaves every morning at 6 o'clock. He's working in Dublin, Tom, and not home in the evening, and then training, and just shows you the commitment from fellas.
Absolutely, you know, and he's just rewards over the last number of years in the team as well, you know.
And there's a man on the ball now, David Redmond, who pops it off. He's done some running for his club in Wexford over the number of years, the 30-year-old, and that one, Garrett Sinnott, lets fly from the sideline, but it's just inches wide. I think that's the fourth wide for Oulart-The Ballagh with the wind behind him. 1-2 to 2 points is the goal between them. That goal was scored by Garrett Sinnott after 3 minutes, I think, Jerry, was it?
6 minutes, 6 minutes.
8.5 minutes. Six. I'll get it right eventually. The ball up, St. Martin's on the attack. They're attacking the Clonard end. Heavy ball up, good lively start of this game. Nice little touch away. Kieran Ling getting in, putting pressure on cornerback Anthony Roach. Anthony Roach being forced back, but he managed to get a pass away. Good interception. However, Owen Moore getting involved, and Keith Roster getting a heavy tussle, but he manages to stand up with Sean Murphy. It is. Sean Murphy back, and danger here. The ball is square free. Sean Murphy trying to get in. There's a St. Martin's player, Jake Furman, gone tumbling to the ground, and at the end of all of that action, the ball has gone wide, Billy, but it's been a good start to this game from both sides. Martins have settled well, haven't they?
Yeah, they've come back into it well, you know. There's a chance there again, you know, maybe to get a score, take the point, but they keep running at the goal. Maybe they reckon that if they take the Oulart full back line on it, running, but Moore done well there. Oulart were able to get back and just cover that one. The
boss Cod down there patrolling the sideline. Big man, you wouldn't want to get fall out of him. His sister and twin sister Maura was manager of the Camogie team that won the first title. David Redmond again, he's had a major influence at the start of this game. 3 St. Martin players chasing him down. But he got the ball away to Nicky Kerwin. Nicky Kerwin under pressure, good pressure coming in. Little pull on the jersey, on Joe Connor's jersey, but the referee plays on. The ball is eventually cleared by Paddy Kelly. Up to the left-hand corner over on the far side. Coming across to take it, Kieran Ling. Very clever, intelligent player. As he was falling, he got a first touch on the ball across over in the right left corner forward from Jake Furman. Jake Furman back out the field, asking a lot. Another good ball from Jake Furman, picked up by Rory Jacob, hitting it down towards Gareth Sinnott, taking it on the 45, turning around off his left shoulder, and looks White almost lost direction. That the danger hasn't gone yet, but the block coming in, no story in it across. There's nobody there from Oulart. And running in on it now is Nicky Cameron. Managed to get a touch on it, lost his hurl, showing us his football skills. He kicks it back out, but he was just overcrowded by the St. Martin's defence, and Harry O'Connor eventually clears it up the field, up to the far side. Picked up by Kevin Sheridan. Kevin Sheridan, of course, is related to the O'Connor clan. He's ball down on the far side. It's with Peter Murphy. Peter Murphy down and running onto Kevin Sheridan. Kept running from a tight angle. Kevin Sheridan, that's a very good score from young Kevin Sheridan, who had a tough start of the year, Tom, but he's blossomed as the year's gone on.
Yeah, I think over the last couple of years Kevin's been in college and he's been busy with exams and things like that. But Liam, that was the score of the game so far. He delivered the ball from his own half-back line. Big Peter Murphy got it. Kevin Sheridan ran good to 60 yards, picked it up and slapped it over the bar with his left hand. A really, really good score from Kevin Sheridan. Very bright young talent.
17 minutes gone, 1-3 to Oulart-The Ballagh, 2 points to St. Martin's. The county champions. Started very confidently. St. Martin's back into it, however. Joe O'Connor getting across to the far side of the field, and time to pick his spot. Harry O'Connor from a long ways out. I think he's pushed it wide. Yes, it's a little bit windy. Maybe the wind has dropped from the first game. Ford winning the Reen 1 replay here, and a very good performance and a very good game for what would be considered the second grade and under 21 hurling. Long puck out down, coming out to high waters. And Nicky Cameron couldn't get it up and he fell. Was there a little push? I didn't see a push, did you, Billy? Well, the referee is much closer than we are.
He was, in fairness to him, I think it was a free. He put the hand on the back there. And Nicky was in. He put your hand on the back there because he was inside in on goal again. But Oulart again, the quick ball into the full forward line is causing a lot of problems for this Martin's defence.
They're struggling to keep with the rhythm of the game, aren't they?
They are, and to be honest with you,
it's reflected on the scoreboard as well.
All the nervousness is with the Martins at the moment. They're playing short ball, it's not working. Oulart are playing a more direct game. They look more confident and they are causing problems 2 men inside. But I just see Joe Coleman is warming up and he does look like he's going to make a very quick. I mean, there's only 17 minutes gone, so I'm not sure really what Martin's forward is going to come off, but it's a big move very early in the game.
Nicky Kerwin has scored that ball. 1-4 to 2 points. Oulart-The Ballagh leading St. Martin's with the 2 points. 18 minutes gone in the opening half. Justin Heffernan is the fourth official today. What, Jerry?
Joe's into trying to win some ball in the air for the Irish.
Well, Oulart-The Ballagh have a bit of a wind with them, although I think that wind has dropped significantly. The flags are flooding, but not much. The ball has gone out over the line. Frank Flannery down there, the Cork native from Middleton.
I was just saying,
I think he's from.
There was a shoulder between Willie Debricks and Keith Roster after that, and I wouldn't like to be between the two of them now. I'd say it started me weight problems.
Would like to be in a flea anyway, Tom.
I'll tell you what,
they're
they're two incredibly fit men because they hit each other so hard, but Oulart are really fighting for everything. But this is the way the game I would have thought would have gone, because as the game goes on, the Martins should have the younger legs, Liam, so they should come more into it in the second half. But at the moment, it's all about Oulart and the way Oulart are playing. They're playing fabulous balls to their forwards at the moment.
Yeah, and Oulart are saying the message has gone out loud and clear as the lead 1-4 to 2. If you want to beat us, St. Martin, you're going to have to come. 19 minutes gone, the opening half of this free from Owen Moore. He's very good at these frees with the maroon helmet, but he's pushed that one. That's Nicky Kerwin actually, with the maroon style. He was right down in front of us. John Carton, the linesman down there, and well, they're still in touch, I suppose. 1-4 to 2 points, Billy.
Well, very much, and the wind is getting up again there, Liam, you'd have to say, as definitely favouring Oulart at this stage. Every ball they get in the half-back line, just put it straight into, and here's another one coming in.
Kevin Sheridan started very well. Hand pass back to Sean Murphy. Dangerous ball in. The goalkeeper, will he come or will he stay? Ball dropped down in front of him and is stuck in the ground, but Luke White kept his eye on it and did the sensible thing. Hand pass off on his own 22 to Paddy Kelly. Paddy Kelly driving it up the field, up inside the Oulart 45, but it's touched down by Keith Rossiter, and then it's Keith Rossiter has it. Hand passing it back. Oh, not a good hand pass from Keith. It's one of the rare mistakes he's made today. He doesn't make many of them. He's had his injury problems over the years, but he's managed to keep that appetite going. 34 years of age. He shakes off another heavy tackle against Jack O'Connor. And Jack O'Connor got a heavy blow there, and there's a little bit of pushing and shoving around the place. But to be fair to Oulart, they're rarely involved in any off the ball stuff or anything like that, Tom. They just want to hurl, to be fair to them.
They do, Liam, you know, and they hit hard, there's no doubt about it. But the one thing I noticed,
hard and fair, Tom.
Hard and fair. The one thing I noticed about them today, they're hitting very direct. There's nothing really, that was the first uncharacteristic thing from Keith, where he went to hand pass the ball back 10 or 15 yards, but they're doing everything direct. If the ball is in the air, they're driving to it and they're driving the ball out of it, you know. And maybe the Martins, again, the Joe Coleman thing, as Jerry was saying beside us, they need to play a little bit more direct. They need more options up front to try and get that quick ball up. But at the moment, and again, it's another free for the Martins. It's an awkward one because Rory missed one from here the last time, so it is a real test of a free taker's character to try and put this over. They're not easy frees for Rory O'Connor.
Yeah, I know Rory is heavily bandaged. The way bandaging is done today is probably not going to affect him that much, but it obviously is a concern.
Yeah, but he's a very good free taker. I think it's Jack O'Connor is down. He's had to get the bang. The helmet is off there. He's down for the Martins. He would beat blow if there was any problem there with him. But a chance here now for Rory for the put in, you know, just put 2 points in it again.
And there is a substitution.
Keith Roster again has gone with a blood substitution, Liam, so obviously the earlier injury hasn't fully and funny when
is this a new way of Keith of taking a break in the game?
Well, I don't know, but every time he goes off the pitch, Martin's getting a little bit more confident, Liam.
And Harry O'Connor, or Rory O'Connor it is, drives that over the bar. It wasn't an easy one into the wind, but he struck it very well. And we're here today in association with Tom Roach Agri-Build. Wally and John are the boys who look after you early in the morning till late in the evening. The ball touchdown outside the 22. Oulart-The Ballagh on the attack. They're leading 1-4 to 3 points. They've made the better start, and there's a foul on Keith Ross. Garrett Sinnott there. And little unfortunate, I felt that incident. Garrett Sinnott kind of ran across the fullback Patrick O'Connor, and I think he's right to protest.
Well, maybe the only thing, Liam, was the ball was in Nicky Kerwin's hand anyway, so possibly we'd have had the same result. But again, this is completely alien. In fairness, Frank Frannery has come out with a completely different style of forward play for Oulart today. It's direct ball, the 2 big men down there. Nicky Kerwin and those guys are away from the goal today, Liam. So it'll be very interesting if Oulart get through this game. We'll be able to say that they can play it whatever way you want to play it, really, because it's a different tactic than normal.
But one big reason why they are changing tactics too, Desi Maidens not playing. Desi was the master of the opening type game today.
Yeah, so they've had to adjust their tactics as well, Jerry. Fair point, and Nicky Kerwin did dispatch that over the bar. He probably would have scored it anyway. We played 22 minutes in the opening half of the Pettitts Senior Hurling Final here live on South East Radio on this Sunday afternoon after all the storms. Well, there is a bit of a storm here. 1-5 to 3 points, the county champions leading. Going for their 14th title remarkably. Lovely pick up and a quick swing from Rory O'Connor. Lovely skill away from 3 or 4 players. Back out to Joe Coleman who came in. Joe, as he swung it in, he has. So Joe Coleman, the young man who came in, has swung it over the bar, and that will certainly, every point will settle the St. Martin's nerves. And the puck out, Conor O'Leary not in any hurry to take it. 1-5 to 4. And the high puck out down here on the stand side, 20 yards infield. Picked up, nice little charge coming in from Paddy Kelly, gets the ball away, does enough to get the ball away. The ball is loose, and it's Burrick trying to bury his way through is Conor Furman. And Conor Furman, I'm not sure what the player is supposed to do in that situation. Conor Furman getting involved. There's 3 or 4 players around, he's nowhere to go.
Yeah, and it's either the yellow card or the ball here pocket for the player as well. But you know, it's very, very frustrating for a cornerback. You've done everything right. You know, he got surrounded, he came and tried to come out with the ball and you know, for free in, but there's a bit of afters here now.
Yeah, to say that it's afters, to tell you the truth, lads, you see worse on a Saturday night in Slaney Street.
Well, that's true. I'm watching John O'Connor and Alan O'Connor, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's more interesting. That looks more interesting.
They look more like 2 men that could take action over the next couple of minutes now, I have to say. But I mean, it's a ferocious lean contest, and there is serious bodily tackles going in there, very intense. And I see Justin now has come down and he's separate Mick Reid and Jono, and I don't think Mick Reid is going to do anything. But
I just wonder, you know, St. Martin's put down a marker way back in the 5th of May, Tom, in the opening group game when they won. You know, saying Oulart-The Ballagh were hurting after that a little bit.
Yeah, and I think what we're after seeing, and Billy said it there earlier, we're seeing a very, very motivated Oulart team out there at the moment. They are absolutely going for everything. But again, Liam, there's only 4 points in it. There's a bit of a breeze there, so the longer the game goes on, the longer the Martins stay in it, the longer they have a chance, Liam.
This one from Nicky Kerwin, he's 3 yards infield, he's 2 yards outside the 45. Lifts on the stand side, And I think he's put that one wide. They'll be disappointed with some of the wides, Jerry, because they've had 6 of them now in the first half with that win.
Yeah, indeed, kind of strikes that one with Nicky's normal very good. It's not an easy day for free takers in fairness. Tom would have tried and would know well about Wexford Park on many days, but it's tough for free takers today.
Long puck out from Luke White in his white jersey with a little bit of maroon on it. Of course, his team are wearing maroon. Landing in the far side of midfield. Picked up by Sean Murphy, blocked down. And the referee is... I'm not sure what James Owens has done there. He played advantage, did he?
Sean Murphy's team to pick it up off the ground, but there was a bit of after. He got pushed in the back, so he's throwing the ball in now. It was a free to the Martins, but it's a throw in now.
It's on the Oulart-The Ballagh 65-yard line there. Defending with the Clonards Church on the left, they're defending that end. And having a word with James Owens as Harry O'Connor. Maybe it's more than a word, maybe he hasn't booked anyone yet. And he lets the game flow, James Owens, in fairness to him. And it is a yellow card.
It was a fairly cheap yellow card. I mean, what Harry O'Connor, he shouldn't have done it. It was a bit silly, but he just pushed Sean Murphy. It wasn't, I was just saying, Liam, I'm thinking 25 years ago you wouldn't be getting a yellow card for it anyway, I'll tell you that. You know, I mean, just a bit silly. Maybe James Owens could have kept it in his pocket.
Yeah, the ball over to the far side is squirmed out. Dahi Waters has it. Dahi Waters hitting it up into the corner. But it's intercepted by Kevin Sheridan. Very close to the sideline on the far side of the field. But it's one back and Sean Murphy getting across. We're losing out this time. Rory O'Connor trying to get it up. He's managed to get the ball in play. And then he gets, is that a free? It is a free. He was fouled, pushed out over the line. Maybe a silly free to give away. Was it? I'm not sure who was the guilty culprit.
Yeah,
Michael Jacob, is it? Or Michael Jacob was going to come off there again.
Well, I think it was Rory Jacob actually, but to be honest with you, the ball seemed to be in Oulart hands, so Rory had been worked his way up along the line, but I think he was actually finished with the ball. So again, a little bit of indiscipline from Oulart.
Lads, 26 minutes gone, 1-5 to 4 points. Look. And this is one taken quickly. Oh, it's a goal! Taken very quickly. Kieran Ling finished it. Rory O'Connor took it quickly. Oulart-The Ballagh switched off. And Rory and Kieran Ling found himself outside the 14-yard line, and a player of his skill and ability, he just hit it past Bertie O'Leary. It seemed as if the whole world stopped, didn't it, Tom?
It did, Liam. I mean, Oulart are kicking themselves about that. They really took their foot off the pedal. Down the other end here now, Liam.
And that was a super goal from Linger and the winner free down the far side.
Free out, I think you'll say it. I think Garrett said that time was deemed to be margin. It's a free out, but in fairness, the work rate of Rory O'Connor, I know he's heavily bandaged, but he won that free. He took on 3 Oulart players. He's starting to
the Oulart defence definitely switched off Billy on that occasion.
It was good thinking by Rory, you have to say, he's really tuned into the game there.
Yeah, lovely short free. Kieran Ling was loose. Not sure what going on with Frank Flannery and his management team will be disappointed now. There's just a point in it. 27.5 minutes playing the opening half, entertaining game. And St. Martin's a chance for Joe Coleman. Joe Coleman has levelled it up. Can you believe it, Jerry?
I almost would have stayed, you were talking here and I had to point you to say that he was taking a quick free, but the one brain that wasn't asleep was Rory O'Connor's.
Yeah, nor Linger's, in fact, for that matter. Then we know how good his brain is.
Yeah, and it just shows the bit of genius of Rory O'Connor. I mean, most people would have tapped that over the bar, but a great bit of thinking. Oulart will be a bit annoyed, but Joe Coleman has made a major difference to the Martins' attack. It's 2 points from play now.
The ball down around again. Oulart-The Ballagh under pressure now. They were dominating this game, but it's amazing. Nicky Curran battling hard for the ball with Joe O'Connor down the left cornerback position. Joe O'Connor, remembers, wearing number 11 and passing it off to Mark Maloney, very close to the line. Does well to keep himself in play. That's a loose one, picked up by Keith Rosser. Lost possession, managed to tip it out to Rory Jacob. Rory Jacob has scored a lot of scores in his time, but he puts this one wide. I think Oulart will be disappointed with that win behind him, lads, with all those wides. 7 in total, is it?
Having the better side game at the moment, we're only 11 going in. A few minutes to go to the break, so St. Martin's will obviously be very happy then, but having said that, Oulart very good against the winter, so it's a good game. That's the important thing from our point of view.
29 minutes gone. Davy Fitzgerald and his management team, Pádraig Fanning and guys over there watching. We hope to have a chat with Davy at half time here. We're live in Wexford Park, and this ball is due with Jack O'Connor. Jack O'Connor sending it inside, but well intercepted by Oulart-The Ballogh's Kevin Sherd. Back to Rory Jacob outside his 22-yard line. He doesn't hesitate. Down towards Dahi Waters though. And Oulart, if anything, starting to retreat too much into their own half. That's a lovely ball for Dahi Waters. A slip before he hit it. this time, and that's a very good score from Jake Furman. And now St. Martin's are in front for the first time in the game. A total transformation in the space of a few minutes, Tom.
Yeah, the Martins have really come into it, and just showing some of the ability that they've come to terms with the way Oulart are playing at the moment now. And to be honest with you, they will be the happier going into the dressing room if it stays like this, Lee.
The puck out landing down very close to the 22-yard line. A game battle between the two men, Joe O'Connor, and it's gone out over the line, and there will be 2 minutes of additional time. Jerry's favourite number of additional time, Billy, but a very tight game, very interesting game now.
It's definitely making an interesting game for the second half. John O'Connor is, I think, disputing the line ball there. I think he might have won it. He's onto the linesman there, but it's hard to know what way the line ball is going. John Partners is going to the Martins, so it worked out for John there. But I think, what the Martins have done, their full back line has really got the grips with the full forward line power. But I think Rory O'Connor is after really bringing the Martins into this. After winning frees, he's single-handedly he's took them on there. Joe Coleman on the other side, after getting 2 great points. But Keith Rossiter, funny enough, them scores came when Keith Rossiter was off the field. Keith is back on now, but I'd say the Martins are well up for it now, Liam.
Line ball from Rory Jacob, touch inside, but Dottie Waters is there battling hard. Dottie, 30 years of age now, looking forward to another campaign with the senior footballer, as he said, and Paul McLaughlin. And Rory O'Connor is back there. That knee is not affecting him at the moment. A lovely, accurate hand pass out to the far side, and it's Joe Coleman. The hand passing it back. Time on his hands to clear it and deliver it as Conor Furman. Up in a slip from Keith Rosser. It's up towards up towards Kieran Ling. And Kieran Ling has it. Slips as well. A lot of players slipping and sliding around the place. He manages to get it back out. Very tight angle for Jake Furman. And that one has gone over the bar from Jake Furman. So 2 points from Jake Furman. And suddenly St. Martin's are 2 points in front. Tom, we're a minute and a half into injury time at the end of the first half. Very an enthralling first half, really.
It's been really swung from one side to the other. The first 15 minutes were all about Oulart, but the last 10 really have been about the Martins. And Oulart are struggling to cope with the Martins moving the forwards at the moment, Liam.
And the puck out coming from Conor O'Leary on the far side. And Oulart-The Ballagh swinging across, dangerous ball in around the air. Garrett Sinnott is there, and Martin Oak Story is there, but neither of the two of them can keep it in play. And there's no doubt about it that goal.
Barry felt under pressure that he had to get it into the 2 boys, but as I say, the full back line, Willie Deverich, and you have to say Patrick O'Connor.
Yeah, they've been consistent all year though, those 2 guys. Then James Owens is going to half-time whistle. Tom has to leave us, but a very entertaining first half, Billy. And Martins have completely turned it around. Martins have scored 1-3 in the last 7 minutes of the first half.
Yeah, I'd say, Oulart are probably happy enough keeping the Martins, to kicking, as regards points, but that goal has really turned the whole lot. It's given Martins new confidence. I will say that Dottie Waters at wing back is after getting on a lot of ball there, big man, he's putting out a lot of ball going into that full forward line, but I'd say the team going in happy at the minute is definitely the Martins, and the half-time whistle probably came at the right time for Oulart.
But if you were Oulart now, Billy, they were dominating that first half. They had 7 wides. They probably should have taken more chances. They got a great start with Garrett Sinnott's goal. And to be honest, they look to be in cruise control. They changed their style because I suppose Desi wasn't there, Desi Maiden wasn't there. They changed it around a little bit, but St. Martin's have kept back, clawed their way back, and Rory O'Connor, he just shows how talented he is.
And it's good to see him out there. That's where Rory deserves to be, out in the States like that. And as I say, he came into it there in the last 10-15 minutes, and he's turned the whole thing for the Martins. He's threw out balls, he's won them frees. But I still say that what the full back line have done in the last 10 or 15 minutes for the Martins is really closed Oulart down. Their half back line has got to be on top of the likes of Dottie Waters. Even we'll say Harry O'Connor in the middle of the field. I know he got a yellow card, but he started to get on ball. But the Martins are getting confidence. Joe Coleman, bringing in Joe Coleman is a very good move. Got 2 very good points, so Oulart have a lot to do here in the second half. The win is definitely with the Martins. I know it's dropped, but still any advantage in win is definitely with the Martins. So Martins are going in with their tails up, because with 10 minutes to go to half time, you were saying yourself that Oulart was sort of in cruise control and maybe took the eye off the ball. And the one team you can't do that with is a young team like the Martins. As I say, they've won minor, they've won under 21, they've won taken some big scalps going through the championship this year, and they're well up for the game. It's intriguing second half, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Well, we'll take a half-time break here, Aidan. I'll bring us up to date on the rest of the sport, and we're here today in association with Clonroach Agri Build. Wally and John are the main men up there, and it's with the story that St. Martin's have really turned this game around. With 22 minutes gone in the opening half, they were down 1-5 to 3 points. But Joe Coleman with 2 points, and that quick thinking free from Rory O'Connor, setting up Kieran Lean from about 15 yards out. He let fly past Conor O'Leary in the goal, and now at defence, unusually getting caught static and switching off for that crucial moment. They've hit 8 wides in the opening half hour at the Ballagh. St. Martin's have hit 4. St. Martin's are leading 1-7 to 1-5. Are we going to have new champions at the end of the game today? Well, we'll relay that to you in 35, maybe 45, maybe even an hour's time. Well, Martin's trying to be new champions. Oh, to be new champions, you know what I mean? Everybody else knows what I mean, except you with champions.
Hurling champions of 1991 and 1992, who are our jubilee recipients for 2017. They will be presented with their awards during this interval in the senior hurling final. The first recipient is Matty Foley, captain of 92. Conor Whelan, captain of 91, is unable to attend. James Cabinet, next man up. Harley is the next man. Barry Murphy. Pat Kenny. Kate Donoghue representing John. John O'Leary. Gillian Gannon representing Paul Gannon. Eamon Sinnott. Dempsey, Eddie Reid, Paddy Donoghue, Fintan O'Leary, John Gannon, Seamus O'Leary, Ben Martin, Father Martin Casey, Tony Doran, Pat Lacey, Martin Mangan, Declan Sinnott, Matt Furlan, Marnie Burke, Billy O'Leary, Des Murphy, the mentors for those 2 years are now going to start. Colin from Dorn. Father Jim Butler. Bill Dorn. Finton Farrell. Michael Sinnott, representing his late father Paddy. Yvonne Donoghue, representing her late father Tom Donoghue. Theo Butler, representing Perry Butler. Again, upon your appreciation for the Butler family, senior hurling champions of 1991 and 92, Germany.
Pat Kenny, John Donoghue, John O'Leary, Paul Gann, Sean Whelan, Eamon Sinnott, Tom Dempsey, of course, will be back with us for the second half. Paddy Donoghue, Fintan O'Leary, John Gann, Seamus O'Leary, Ben Martin, Father Martin Casey, Tony Dorn, Mick Butler, Pat Lacey, Murt Mangan, Pat Dempsey, Declan Sinnott, Matt Furlong, Marnie Burke, Billy O'Leary, Des Murphy. The mentors were Colin Dorn, Father Jim Butler, Bill Dorn, Fintan Farrell, Paddy Sinnott, RIP, who of course no longer with us, neither is Tom Donoghue. Fiona, his daughter, was there today, and Peary Butler. And The Land of Men and Joints, Tony Dorn's autobiography with Hero Books and Liam Hayes. And Tony Dorn's launch tomorrow night at the Riverside Park Hotel at 7:30. Tom Dempsey and Dave Burney will be doing the honours. Well, also I just want to mention Seamus Walsh. I think everybody in, or Welsh as we would call him, everybody in Wexford Hurling knows Seamus Walsh. He's one of the great characters around Club on J Club, and they are raising money at the moment for the club with special things. And there's a This Is Your Life next Saturday night in John Hughes, and Ger Flood is doing the, who would know him very well, is doing the man that's finding out Seamus's life. He's doing the Eamon Andrews. Everybody knows Seamus Walsh, Ger.
Oh, absolutely. I've never seen it. He's at every game.
Yeah, I met him.
So you should be good crowd there for that game. But about the start point, it should be a great second half game. It's nicely poised. Bartons have the lead and they're in advantage, but Oulart have the experience, so it's all down to what's going to happen the next 30 minutes there.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're getting ready to start the second half. The teams are up fairly lively. And it'll be interesting. 1-3 scored in the last 8 minutes of the first half. And St. Martin's turned the game, Jerry, on its head, really, hasn't it?
Oulart didn't score from last minute. You said 1-4 they got. Very proud.
And the ball over straight away. We started the second half, and St. Martin's now with the win behind them in the second half has started well. The sun is shining here in Innovate Wexford Park, and working on the ball, Jack O'Connor hasn't seen much of the ball in the first half. The 23-year-old finished with college, now working. Rory Jacob booting the ball up towards Nicky Kerwin, tried to take it on the boss of his hurl, but it is a chance running through David Redmond. Hasn't got much opportunities and wins an early free for David Redmond. I expect to see a vibrant start and a really, I suppose, committed start from the Ballagh in the second half, Tom Dempsey.
Yeah, I mean, they'll be annoyed with themselves in the dressing room. I'm sure Frank Flannery is after telling them that, Liam, but you know, they will need a couple of scores early. But the wind actually on the pitch is not as bad, Liam, as it probably looks from up here, so that won't have a big
Yes, eased off a bit, Tom, has it, from the first game?
It has, yeah, but the only thing I would say, Liam, is that the Martins do have the younger legs. I know people say they've played football and hurling over the last while, but they do have the younger legs, so that might be very, very important come the end of this game.
Nicky Kerwin has scored the first point of the second half with just under a minute played, and they didn't score in the last 8 minutes of the opening half, and I expect Oulart will come out all guns blazing. With the sun in the rise in the second half, the fence Purdy is already protecting his eyes. The ball lands down outside the 21, but it's picked up, running through Mark Maloney, still controlling the ball very well, running into a bit of traffic now. Sean Murphy's there, Sean Murphy leaving it instead to Dennis Martin. Dennis Martin swinging out, Rory O'Connor in the right corner for our position, left corner for our position, back out to Kieran, turns one way, turns the other, back to Rory O'Connor. The exchange passes very well. Rory O'Connor cutting in field, going with the ball, still going outside the 20-metre line, dragged and pulled around the place where the referee has played advantage. The ball swinging around the area, chance here first time pull from Jake Furman, and he was moving away from the goal, but an opportunity, Billy.
Yeah, I tell you, every time
Rory O'Connor.
Yeah, he's really, he's a thorn in the outer side of the stage. But one thing that I will say at this stage, Liam, is that Oulart have only had one player to score from play, and that was Garrett Sinnott in the first 2 minutes. They haven't had a player actually in the forwards that have scored from play.
Absolutely. And the ball over the far side, and Oulart-The Ballagh coming forward again. It's a real test for the county champions now. Trying to buy himself a little bit of space, Nicky Kerwin, when he's buckled out it. Back out to David Redmond, tight angle for David Redmond. Oh, off the post, David Redmond. But back there to protect him was Dahi Waters, doing like a good defender should do, protecting his goal line and then clearing it down the field. Not landing down on Keith Rossler, but it's picked up instead by Jack O'Connor, who's come more into this game in the last 15 minutes. The ball down around the line. We played 2.5 minutes in the second half. There's a point in the St. Martin 1-7, Oulart-The Ballagh 1-6. And it's Oulart-The Ballagh again coming forward. Nice little grab in the right hand from Peter Murphy. Hasn't seen much of the ball in this game. First time pulled from Dahi Waters, no messing. Gone past midfield, inside the Oulart-The Ballagh 45. But back clearing it up is Anthony Roach. Anthony Roach has time with the green helmet to pick out over to the far side. And who has he picked out over there? Danger here. Oh, brilliant block coming in. And it's Garrett Sinnott was going to pull the trigger, but there was Harry O'Connor that came in, or Patrick O'Connor wasn't. It was a brilliant block and a heavy tackle out over the line by Paddy Kelly. But that was a superb block because Garrett Sinnott was no more than 10 yards out. He was going to pull the trigger. It was a superb block from the fullback.
Yeah, it was brilliant, and it was a last gasp, like if he, it was a goal all over. I think even Garrett might have had a man over at that stage, but he'd nothing on his goal in his mind. Brilliant bit of defending, and I think Paddy Kelly would probably get a yellow card here. There was a bit of a high tackle, but again, there's a free. Oulart have started much better in the second half, but there's a free from the sideline, and it's going to be very, very important to see whether Nicky Kerwin puts this over the bar or not.
Absolutely, and hello to Pat Murray, who's in Florida, good Oulart man, probably in the sunshine. They had the hurricane there as well. We had kind of a minor one this week, Pat, and a lot of people without electricity, so there's a good crowd here today, in fairness, and it was always going to be the under 21 match was a good idea because it added further to the crowd, and we were rightly entertained at that game. 5-12 to 2-14 it was, Tom. I think it was a cracking game.
Brilliant game, Liam, to say, it's the second grade under 21, but I thought there was some fantastic performances, scores. It was really a good lead into the senior game, Liam.
Nicky Kerwin, I should say, 3 yards in field into the Clonard end. He's about 40 yards out. Sends it. It should be no problem for him, and it is no problem for him either. He lifts it very well. That's the 5th point of this game for Nicky Kerwin, and the sides are level. 4.5 minutes played. Entertaining game, and interesting now, Billy.
Definitely so. A long hook out again now out to Joe Coleman.
And the ball landing down. It's off the hurl of Peter Murphy. Tight action outside the 45. Where is the slitter? We're looking on the ground. It's around the place. Bodies all over the place. But coming away with it is Sean Murphy. Elegant hurler. star for Wexford this year in the sweeper role. The ball booted on, and foul coming in that time. Little unlucky Jake Furman, but he came in a little bit hard on the back of one of the Oulart players. I think it's Sean Murphy, is it?
Anthony Roach.
Anthony Roach is coming hard on. Little unfortunate, really.
Yeah, well, I suppose it was a free, you know, and Anthony Roach did get a good shot. He looks fairly motionless there on the field, but I think looking at Martin Dempsey's...
he might be winded.
Okay. I have to say that Anthony Roach has impressed me today. He's playing very, very well, and he has been one of the rising young stars in Oulart over the last couple of years, but he started very well and he's playing very well.
All that hard work Chris Parrell puts him through with all those tyres, Tom, I think.
I'd say that he's probably lifting them every day, and I doubt if he lift them tomorrow, but in fairness to Anthony Roach,
maybe Chris will give him the day off.
He'll surely give him the day off tomorrow anyway, one way or the other name.
And Jerry, you know, Oulart-The Ballagh won a lot of their county finals from the front, haven't they, been out in front?
They have, yeah. They've always managed to keep ahead of teams, but they're going to have to battle in this game because it's a level pegging in the second half here, so it's going to be tight, this game. It's only going to be a few points between it, and Oulart have shown they have the hunger still aim, and that's one important element in this game. So I'm really looking forward to the last 20 minutes, 25 minutes here, Dave.
Charlie Carter walking up the line there. Of course, he's part of the management team with St. Martin's. The ball up to the far side of the field, and Garrettson hand passing it back out. Oh, brilliant block coming in, but Peter Murphy took way too long on that, and he's blocked down by Paddy Kelly, who's really played well today, Paddy Kelly, and then getting away. Actually, Paddy Kelly's had a good game today, the number 7.
Yeah, he's been very, very good. He's very, very strong in the attack, and I see Billy Dunn is warming up on the sideline now at the moment, and I'd say, you know, possibly he may be coming in for Peter Murphy at the moment. It's not that Peter
scored a couple of points in the semi-final, Tom.
He is, and he's a young man that can take a few scores from out the field, Liam, there's no doubt about it. And just Peter probably not having one of his better games, but maybe I'd say that's who's actually going to be the switch for the moment.
I see Brian Murphy there. Of course, Jordan Murphy, his brother, was one of the great rugby players for Ireland. Brian never had the same ability as the fella said. Over on the far side, nice touch away from Harry O'Connor. Harry O'Connor swinging across, but he's blocked down. He's a little too casual with that one. The one running free to David Redmond in midfield. David Redmond had to shift a heavy tackle, and, well, Paddy Kelly needs to be careful because he's already on a yellow card, Billy.
Very, very careful. He's hurling very well, you know, but you could see that, you know, once Dave flicked it by him, there's a quick free coming in here now, Liam.
And it's taken over to the far side, but it wasn't well taken. Daithí Waters read it very well. Throws the ball on the boss of the hurl, makes room for himself, lifts and strikes, sends it on the way to the goal. Is that a point for Daithí Waters? It is a point for the big man, Daithí Waters. A superb score. He has that ability, of course, because he's played football for years. He's able to see space, and he did that really well.
Yeah, but I think the Oulart mentors are absolutely doing their head in on the sideline, because Tommy Story took a short free, and really there was no need to take it. It should have been Nicky Cowan come out to put the ball over the bar, and we've seen a 2-point swing, point for the Martins, and really missed opportunity for Oulart there.
And there's a change, Martin O'Story coming in, so that plan hasn't worked, and he's been replaced by number 19, Billy Dunn. Liam's son, of course. I'm sure Liam is here somewhere, former Wexford manager and terrific hurler himself in his day. Slipping on the ground, Billy Dunn, trying to get a little taste of action. All of this action taking place down in front of us on the 65-yard line. It's the Martin 65-yard line. Quite a hefty tackle again from Jake Furman. But it was more, I'm not so sure what the player can do, because it was very clever by Kevin Sheridan, who ran straight into him, Tom.
Well, I think, Liam, really what the player has to do, if you're going to block a player, you have to hit him on the shoulder. And what a lot of the blocks, and I think James Owens is right, they're meeting him in the chest. So they're not actually, they are frees. They're really, the discipline of the thing here is going to be very, very important, particularly for the Martins, because they've given away 2 frees in the last maybe 2 or 3 minutes. And Nicky Cowan is taking frees very well, albeit this is a very difficult one. But really, no, it was a free, Liam, you know, and really the Martins will have to be very careful with their tackling in the second half.
1-8 to 1-7, St. Martin's leading. But is that lead going to be levelled now? An opportunity for Nicky Cowan. He's back a little further than the previous one. He's about 5 yards outside the 45. He's 3 yards in field. And Niall MacDonald, the linesman, is looking at him as he strikes it. Oh, he's pulled that one a little bit. Not like Nicky, in fairness.
Yeah, I think that's their 9th wide, Oulart, and the pressure's on him here. You'd have to say the hunger of the Martins is really starting to come out. Young legs again, quick puck out to Paddy Kelly. We end up in the full forward line.
Yeah, Paddy Kelly's soaring it high in the air, 30 yards from the Oulart goal, but a superb catch from Kevin Sheridan, who's played well today. He's left the clearance to Barry Keogh, sending it up inside the St. Martin's half of the field, driving it on, little unlucky. David Redmond booted it out over the line. what a consistent performer David Redmond has been. There's some mileage in his legs, Tom Dempsey.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, Liam, and he is the one fella that
he's like an angry wasp, I describe him.
I suppose, yeah, but he's
all over the place.
He's a fella that could maybe pop over a couple of points for Oulart towards the end of this game, and his contribution from now to the end is going to be vital, Liam.
Yeah, the lads are still with me anyway. I'm not smelling after not having a shower this week and all. Like, seriously, well, maybe they'll go in a minute. The ball sent down the line, touched over on the far side on the attack, but it's Owen Moore defending, but St. Martin's have it. Lovely ball swung across the field, well controlled by Jack O'Connor. Jack O'Connor from a tight angle, good score from Jack O'Connor. And it was, I'm not sure if the pass was intentional, but Jack took it down with his right hand and inside the 45, put it over the bar. Very good scores. His first score for Jack O'Connor. It's 1-9 to 1-7. St. Martin's leading 10 minutes played in the second half.
Yeah, and the confidence, the young lads on Martin's here are starting to show confidence. They're starting to show, you know.
They've won so much on underage, Billy. You know, they've been so used to winning county titles on underage. And the ball landing down from the hook out. David Redmond trying to get to it. But back defending is Rory O'Connor again. Rory O'Connor under pressure from David Redmond. Using the hand pass to get himself out of trouble. And no hesitation from Aaron Maddock. Sends it down immediately. Down towards the full forward line. Down towards Kieran Ling. But it's one back. And a brilliant win. Back to Kieran Ling. Out. Tight angle from Kieran Ling. Looking around, making an angle for himself. Has he scored a point? He has scored a point, Kieran Ling. There is no cleverer player on the field out there today, Tom, I can guarantee you, than Kieran Ling.
Yeah, and I mean, his impact on the game has been fairly substantial. Liam. When you take that goal, if we look back and if the Martins do come through here, that goal is going to be the turning point of the game, really, you know, and Kieran Ling was the one to put it that way.
Sun shining here in Innovate Wexford Park on this Sunday afternoon. It's the 22nd of October, and working hard. Justin Heffernan is down there busy trying to get Tomas Codd away from the line down there.
Also, that last point, team, Joe Coleman did fantastically well to win the possession in the first place.
Yeah, he's made a difference since he came in, young Coleman, halfway through the first half.
I would have looked like they would have cleared the ball. Coleman won it and passed it out to Kieran Ling.
The ball on the far side, that's a little bit loose. Well intercepted by the corner back in his own half, Anthony Roach. Anthony Roach leaving it to Dennis Morton. Dennis Morton clearing it high into the breeze, which has dropped over on the far side. Thomas down on the field at half time with his former Buffer Rally teammates. And great county titles that they had, I suppose. Tom, he had 12 and Oulart passed you by last year. Was that a little bit hard to take?
No, Liam, look at, you know, they're different eras.
Probably hard to take for some of the boys living near Oulart.
We have a couple more Leinsters maybe in All Ireland to add to it, Liam. So.
I knew that'd come, Byrne. I knew that'd come eventually.
Yeah,
and we're 12 minutes and we're nearly 50 minutes here.
You'll probably hear it another few times for the end of the match as well, Liam.
But here tomorrow night anyway at Tony Doan's book launch in the Riverside Park Hotel. Ball over on the far side and it's taken by Rory Jacob. Lovely ball in towards and a great catch from Peter Murphy. Under pressure, however, lovely little layoff. The referee could have played advantage as David Raven, as he often does, cut around the player that win it, but they win a point. 1-10 to 1-7. It's a very tight game. 12 and a half minutes played in the second half.
Yeah, it's really on a knife edge, and this is important for.
And Des Moyden coming in.
Yeah, Des is going to be interesting to see. Obviously, he's not fully fit, Liam, so if he was, he would be starting. But again, Oulart need to inject something into the forward division now. I mean, it's a small score, 1-7, 1-8 maybe now after 42 minutes of the game. So over that.
Nicky Carroll, that was an easy one for Nicky. He was over on the right hand side outside the D. 30 yards out, putting it over the bar. Nicky Curran has certainly been accurate today. That's 6 points for him out of Oulart's total of 1-2. The goal coming from Garrett Sinnott. Kieran Ling scoring the St. Martin's goal. 13 minutes gone in the second half. Nice, lovely action from a man who's played well today, Anthony Roach, the 22-year-old with the flame hair. The ball passed out to Sean Murphy. Sean Murphy leaving it up, but it was a nervy pass to Keith Rosser. Did well to get it. Keith Rosser's over to the far side, and again, Oulart getting caught with that short passing. They're being closed down by St. Martin's, but attacking up the far side. Anthony Roach very close to the sideline under pressure. In fact, it was Keith Rosser battling hard. It's gone out over the line. It'll be a line ball, and Keith Rosser's still plenty of mileage in his legs, Billy.
Yeah, he came out with that one, but he was made up for, you know, you'd have to say that the Martins have been physical enough, you know, but they are giving away a lot of frees, and eventually, but still the big point I make here was Gareth Sinnott is the only forward from Oulart that scored from play.
Yeah, and that is a crucial element of their performance so far, Tom, unusually for them.
Yeah, and as Billy said, and it's one score from play, it's a goal, like, you know, so it's kind of a, you know, it's not a
unusual
good return. It's an unusual return for Oulart, and that's why maybe they need to have changed their kind of approach to the game now at the moment. But this is a vital free again from Nicky Carwin.
It's actually Rory Jacob taking this one very close to the sideline, but he didn't hit it well at all. Didn't hit it well. I wonder, would he go for broke and push Rory Jacob in, Tom?
Well, I don't know, Liam. I mean,
plenty of time left yet. There's 16 minutes remaining.
There is. Rory had a very, very good start, Liam. I think they've thrown Nicky Cowan in beside Garrett Sinnott now, and that's the way they're very, very used to playing. The two boys, Nicky plays off Garrett, and it'll be interesting to see if that gets a return.
And the puck out coming from Luke White, who has done well today. He was beaten once, and very hard to stop that opportunity because Garrett Sinnett's right on top of him. Heavy tussling for the ball. St. Martin's pleading for a free. Jack O'Connor doing well. Jack O'Connor with a nice little ball taken down, but Keith Rosser intercepts very well outside his own 45. Off the boss of the hurl as he tried to get it away. There was a collision of bodies. It's back out with the midfielder Mark Maloney. Mark slipped as he hit that one. The referee blows the whistle because there's an injury, slight injury down there to Keith Rosser. I'm not sure why he's blowing the whistle actually. James Owens.
Yeah, generally, Liam, if there's a head injury, I think that's the only time that you really blow the whistle. But he seems to be bringing it back, and I don't think he's going to hop the ball.
He's going to throw it in.
Yeah, which is an unusual thing because normally the team with possession are the ones to get the ball.
And there is an injury down the far side. St. Martin's man down. This ball is run free to Jake Furman. Tight angle for Furman, and they're all needed. He hit that one wide. They're mounting up the wides now. They've 6 wides against 10 for Oulart-The Ballagh. St. Martin's leading 110 to 1-8. It's 9 years since they last won a county title, and I'm not so sure Kieran Ling might be and Dahi Waters might be the only two left from that team. The ball up the Oulart coming forward again, and it's with Nicky Cowan. Nicky Cowan under pressure, 2 players around him. Hand pass back to Peter Murphy. Peter Murphy swinging inside, looking for Garrett Sinnott. Garrett Sinnott up in the air with good challenge coming in from Patrick O'Connor, who's done well on him today. It's back out to Garrett Sinnott off his left shoulder, but he won't be happy with that. He hit it rather quickly and under pressure hit it. 16 minutes played in the second half. We're here in Innovate Wexford Park for the Pettitts Senior Hurling Final. It's Oulart-The Ballagh against St. Martin's, and a quick hook out on the far side time. Mark Maloney travelling down. Keith Rosser closing him down, very close to the sideline. Has to come back in, and I'm not sure who Mark was hitting that one to. There was nobody there in the corner. Joe Coleman is chasing after it now, and he hasn't given up the chase either. With an Oulart player there, hand back, Barry Keogh back to his goalkeeper. Goalkeeper Bernie O'Leary, short one to Andy Roach, turns around his marker, injects a bit of pace, leave it off quickly, short pass to Barry Keogh, but they're not making any pressure, not making any room, and Sean Murphy, referee playing advantage. Sean Murphy was fouled, but charging up the field is Andy Roach. He's gone 30 yards, he's gone 40, lets it off the boss of the hurl. Has he curled it in? He hasn't curled it in. My, the wides are mounting up. That's 12 for Oulart.
Yeah, and Oulart will rue the chances, Liam, because they have 12 wides. There's a lot of wides at this stage of the game. And again, it was a straightforward 40-45 yard shot. You'd expect them to be scoring.
And the puck out coming again. It's 110 to 1-8, low scoring, entertaining, tight game. 17 minutes played in this second half. We're here in association with Clonroach Agribill. Wally and John are the 2 men there to look after you on the main New Ross Road just outside Clonroach, travelling down the right hand side. Nice skill from Joe O'Connor back, but that one was a bit too confident, and it cleared by Anthony Rowe, wearing number 2 on his back. The young man, 22 years of age, he feels young in that full back line with Keith Ross and Barry Keogh alongside him, and that's an effort at the post, and that one has gone over the bar. And that's a fine score from Jake Furman. That's his 3rd point, Jake Furman. Tom?
Yeah, that's the 3rd point from Jake. But again, and as Jerry was saying, Dahi Waters having an excellent game in the half back line for the Martins. He's dictating a lot of the play, and that was a great ball. 3rd point for Jake Furman. And I see Tommy Story's been replaced by Desi Maiden. We're going to see whether Desi is up to 15 minutes or than
3 points in at 18 minutes played. And St. Martin's dominant now in this game. Lovely ball down towards Kieran Ling. He finds himself standing off him a little bit. Ling, control of the ball, throws it on the boss of the hurl, the 13, inside, back out. A great show off the post, and back out to play. Joe Coleman coming in on it. Was he fouled? He was fouled by David Redmond as he came in. It wasn't David Redmond. I think it was Anthony Roach that came in on it. Or Owen Moore was actually. They came in on it. And it was lovely skill from Ling again, making that little bit of space. Off to Jake Furman, who should have really scored. Now it came off the post, but really alive to it as he ran in on it was Joe Coleman. And he's made a difference since he came in, Joe Coleman. Big,
yeah,
tall, towering man, only 19 years of age, Joe.
Yeah, he's played really, really well since he's come on. He's transformed the Martins forward. Like, Kieran Ling is down at the moment. I think he could be under pressure. That should have been a point, but I've no doubt now that Rory O'Connor will oblige the Martins by putting them 4 points up, Liam. And on the clock now, we're looking at 11 minutes of normal time. It'll be a bit of injury time, but I tell you, Oulart are in a bad position at the moment, and the Martins seem to be the team that's looking more confident and doing the hurling at the moment.
Yeah, and Peter Murphy's been called ashore as well. Who's replaced him, Jerry?
Peter Sutton's come in for Peter Murphy name, so Peter Sutton.
I think significantly Billy made the point, lads. You know, Oulart just haven't scored from play. They've hit 12 wides, but Gareth Sinnott is the only player. Isn't that remarkable to score from play in a full nearly 50 minutes of hurling?
Yeah, David Redmond got a point from it.
Yeah, sorry, David.
And Kevin Sheridan, wing back from the forward line, they haven't got him yet. The forward line, yeah. But you have to give credit to the Martins' backs team. You know, the Martins' backs have got very close to me. I think Dahi Waters has an outstanding game wing back there, and they're giving very little room to the Oulart forwards, and they're not getting the space to score. Like, you know, Desi Maiden will hopefully create space from their point of view. But that's a 4-point lead now. Rory O'Connor just tapped over that point there, so it's 112 to 1-8, and we've now got 10 minutes left in.
112 to 1-8 with 10 minutes left to be in 10 minutes, but everything is going St. Martin's way, Billy Byrne.
Yeah, there's only one team in it at the minute, the way they're moving, and this man here at wing back, Dahi Waters, having a colossal game, to be honest with you, Liam.
Yeah.
I think in the first half when he really came into it, you know, he's a strong man, but the Martins on the run again here, Liam.
And the Keith Rosser there again, he's been outstanding today, Keith Rosser. He's battling hard, he's out on the 50, he's been in the full back lines all over the place. This time it's back with St. Martin's. They have Dahi Waters, that man we were speaking about a minute ago. The ball inside, he didn't quite hit that well, but really making good use of it with Jack O'Connor over his left shoulder. Jack O'Connor has put it wide, and that's 12 wides to 7. Oulart-The Ballagh winning the wides, but they're not winning on the scoreboard where it matters most, 112 to 1-8. And it's a very tight contest, low scoring, perhaps maybe would be very entertaining from the time it started. Ball over towards Rory Jacob. He hasn't seen much of the ball in this game. Off his left shoulder, the secondary school teacher, St. Peter's, into the hand of the goalkeeper, Luke White. Luke White down here, very close to Dahi Waters, slid on the ground to try and keep it in. And when you've a big, powerful man, 6'4" like Dahi Waters, is able to move, Tom, you'd be getting out of his way, kind of, wouldn't you?
Well, I tell you, Liam, you'd have to be sizing up your options, all right. I have to say, Gareth Sinnott's gone out in the wing now onto the Dahi Waters, Liam, and you know, Oulart they're inside.
Yeah, they're going to have to try and change.
They're just going to have to get
tactics,
a goal, really, Liam, now at this stage. You know, but
and I wonder, will they go 15 on 15 and go for broke and push Rory Jacob up? They're going to have to try something different.
Absolutely, Liam. You know, and it's a goal really, because I don't know if there's 4 or 5 points in Oulart at this stage.
The ball down and it's broken up this time. Good move from Barry Keogh. Barry Keogh across the field with Desi Maiden. First taste of action. Heavily bandaged. Lovely ball inside. Accurate pass taken from Gareth Sinnott, but he's under pressure again. And it's good work. Dahi Waters getting a bang, but battling hard. It's gone out over the line. It's gone out over the line by an Oulart defender, but you'd have to give the St. Martin's backs credit, Billy. They're on top of their men at the moment.
Yeah, I think what Tom said, you know, you'll see the young legs, and now, well, Dahi wouldn't be the youngest of them, he's doing very, very well, but the young legs of the Martins are
he's
very
superbly
hungry.
fit, you see, Billy.
They're closing down Oulart, and Oulart, you know, they're looking for things to happen here, and it's not really happening for them at the minute.
Mark Maloney gone off. Jerry, you'll just have to tell us.
I think it's Michael Codd has come on.
Tomas' son has come on. It's very hard when you're manager to team what to do with your.
Sorry, Mikey Coleman.
Mikey Coleman is in. Mikey Coleman.
Yeah.
Who did a great job in place of Kieran Ling when Kieran Ling was suspended, Tom, in the semi-final.
He did. He's a lively little player, and I tell you, he's a good man to get onto the end of the ball, and there could be a point or two in Mikey Coleman before this game is over. But again, everything is suiting the Martins team as we face into the last 8 or 9 minutes. The game is slowed down. You know, there's a stop-start kind of a nature to it, and a 4-point lead is just a substantial lead at this point.
Absolutely, with 7.5 minutes to go, Dahi Waters is okay. Fixes his red helmet on his head after getting attention. And the Martins mentors, Charlie Carter, Philip Jeffers, Ian Myrna. Jeffers is a great strength and conditioning man. John O'Connor and Mick Reid. John O'Connor was there for many years with St. Martins, and this is their opportunity, maybe perhaps, to win their 3rd county title. Line ball intercepted by Oulart-The Ballagh, but driving forward is Rory O'Connor. That injury is certainly not impairing him at the moment. He's gone 40 yards through midfield. Lovely skill, tapping it off to his brother, but he left it instead to Kieran Ling. Lovely juggle of the ball on the stick over to his number 8, and a lovely hand pass off to Rory O'Connor, who started the move and finished the move. Rory O'Connor, it's his 4th point. A lovely interplay, Oulart-like, a la Oulart-like. interplay with passing, and it ended up with the man who started it all scoring the point from 40 yards out. And now they're coming on the far side. Garrett Sinner with a little bit of room, and he doesn't make any mistake. He'd plenty of time to put that one over. So goal and a point for Garrett in this game. So 113 to 1-9. Will it open up in the last 6 minutes, Billy?
Yeah, it's a big ask for Rory, you know, especially the way that Rory again, you know, started that move in his half back line, and brilliant. He's brilliant off his left hand side, you know, over the bar, and a good explosive punch from Garrett Sinner, but he needs something from the other lads around him.
There's 4 points in it, and the ball landing down outside the Oulart area. There was a little pull there, well spotted by the referee. It was accidental, I think it was Owen Moore. But Jerry, can you ever remember in a county final where Oulart-The Ballagh scored so little?
Yeah, it'd be very well held by the Martin's backside, but they still have got 5 or 6 minutes plus injury time and have a long free here now, but they've been held very well so far, and you have to give credit to the Martin's backs.
113 to 1-9. And coming out of his goal to take this, Conor O'Leary, sending it outside 25 yards out, off the hand of Garrett Sinner. Daithí Waters, who's been outstanding, sweeping around, hitting a lovely accurate pass to Joe O'Connor. Joe O'Connor, 20 years of age, Arthur's son, down into the corner, trying to change direction to Jake Furman. He's been a handful today, Furman, the young man. He's only 20 years of age. And the ball to Desi Moyden. Desi Moyden, lovely ball in, wearing number 10. Desi has been a great stalwart for Oulart-The Ballagh. The ball outside the 22 metre line, up at the Clonard end side, up outside the 20 metre line, I should say. And the ball squirming away to the man wearing number 13, Peter Sutton, and trying to box his way in, but again great pressure coming in from the St. Martin's defence, and Aaron Maddock is there to clear another 20-year-old. Young legs over to the far side, the left hand side of midfield. Jack O'Connor off his left. Jack O'Connor, but that's the third wide from Jack O'Connor. They need all those, Billy, don't they? Maybe, well, 4 points in front with 5 minutes remaining, less than 5 minutes remaining.
I think it's the way they're playing, Liam, you know, the great movement for to get that shot, and David Redmond a chance here now for to put another score in it.
David Redmond high ball in, but it's a poor wide again.
Poor wide again, you know, they're shooting, and usually like they're picking off their points like that, but you know, you would still say the way the Martins are playing, you know, they're showing very, you know, really craft as regards the game of hurling here. They're finding each other very well. The younger guys are only getting better as the game goes on, and Oulart are in a bit of trouble here, Liam.
Yeah, they only scored 111 in the 2011 final. My old colleague Ronan Fagan is there. I should remind Rogan that we had a little bet at the start of the year, so I see a frown on his face over on the far side. I won't tell the listeners about it, but I'll collect it after. It's okay. 2 cakes and a cup of tea from Mary Foley will do me. 113 to 1-9. 26 minutes gone. The ball down, and a good defending back there, defending and helping. Stevens Rory O'Connor's been all over the field in the second half, hasn't he? And now they're not giving up. Of course they won't give up. They're chasing their 14th title. Rory O'Connor topping it off the boss of his heart. But I think this game has gone from them, to be honest. It's with Harry O'Connor landing it down inside, well intercepted by Keith Rosser. He hasn't let down the side today. Back to his goalkeeper Conor O'Leary. Conor O'Leary driving it up the field immediately, because time is at a premium now for the county champions. But it's well picked up by Joe O'Connor, and finding himself loose on usually is Joe Coleman, and Joe Coleman has dispatched it over the bar. And Tom, a crucial score, 5 points in it. We can all nearly say now that the county champions are beaten.
There's no doubt, I think, Liam, at this stage, you know, but you can never say that with Oulart. 1 goal put him right back into it. But what a crucial substitution Joe Coleman was. That's his 3rd point, Liam, and he's made a major contribution to the Martins' forward tally in the second half, particularly.
And the Daithí Waters tripped as he went for the ball down there. And I have to go back to the turning point of the game, Tom, when St. Martin's, quite frankly, were struggling to get with the rhythm of the game, and then quick improvisation by Rory O'Connor to Kieran Ling. It turned the game on its head, and Oulart, quite frankly, have struggled since.
Yeah, I think at that point, Martins needed somebody with a quick mind to change the course of the game, to do something dramatic. Rory O'Connor was that man, and Kieran Ling, no better man to finish it, and that really has been the standout turning point in this game. But overall, in the second half, I think the Martins have been a bit stronger than Oulart, and Rory O'Connor's just put the ball over the bar now, Liam, to put 6 in it.
Yeah, so Rory O'Connor dispatching the ball over the bar to put 6 points in it. And Rory O'Connor, I think that's his 5th point. And well, Billy, you'll have to give Martins credit. They kept with it, and that goal brought them right back into it as they hook out Lansdowne past midfield. David Redmond under, off his hurl, is picked up on the run by Jake Furman. One of this breed of young players they have. Keith Rosser, hasn't he been outstanding today, fellas? Keith Rosser driving forward. He'd be a contender for man of the match if Oulart won it. He's maybe still a contender for it, but he's crowded out this time by St. Martin's. Running after is Kieran Ling. He went for that very early. Got a little push on the back maybe. No, it's Sean Murphy there. Sean Murphy back inside his own 45, clearing it up towards the Clonard then. Getting a hand out at last, but crowded out. A heavy battle for Peter Sutton. Peter Sutton having to work so hard for it, and it's hit high in the air by Billy Dunn. Billy Dunn landing it in, but Dahi Waters under it again. Dahi Waters, Kevin Sheridan has it, running into Dahi Waters, who did a kind of a Simon Zebo tackle on him, but it's back out to go for goal. Oh, almost getting a touch on it. It could have been a goal. Nicky Carman, a wicked shot, hit towards goal by Rory Jacob. And you know what? The faintest of touches from Nicky Carman would turn that in. He must have missed it by a hair's breadth.
He did, Liam, and I'd say that's the last chance gone now. Again, the Martins are defending very, very well. They're not letting Oulart settle on the ball, and they're coming with young Barry O'Connor now as a substitution.
Yeah, George's son coming onto the field, so nice to see him getting a run. And Harry O'Connor, who's had a good day. There's very few of the St. Martin's teams that haven't performed well today.
No, it's been a really collective performance from Liam, and in fairness to them, they've really harried and hassled Oulart the whole way through. After the first 15 minutes, when they got their feet, when they got the goal, there really has been only one team in this, and they fully merit their 6 points lead now at this stage.
Yeah, they're going to bring in another substitute as well. You know, Michael Codd, whose father, Tomas, is the manager, and they, you know, Oulart really have struggled once that goal went in. You know, 8 minutes before the second half, they didn't score, and how much have they scored in that second half?
They scored 4 points in the last 38 minutes, Liam, and that says it all. Like how well the Martins defence has played, but the Martins played well, and Oulart haven't played as well as good, but they haven't been that play as well as they can.
Yeah, absolutely, and you would agree, I suppose, Billy.
Oh, definitely so. And you know, a lot of people tell you it was only a matter of time before the Martins won it. We know what they've won underage. You know, they've won a couple of under 21s. They've won 3 minors. You know, and this day was always going to come. Maybe a lot of people, I thought maybe Oulart would have been snookered again, and the Martins will eventually. But they definitely were up there for today. They're well worth a win. The game is not over, but you would have to say the hunger that they showed, the skill that they showed, and they had some very, very good leaders out there today. That's for certain.
Now we're playing down to the time allowed by the referee, James Owens. Oulart, we can safely say, danger here, coming through, chance going for goal. Oh, it is a goal. Finish off the game. Joe O'Connor, the 20-year-old, finished it to the net, and that fairly well hammers it 2-15 to 1-9.
Yeah, and funny enough, Joe's the only Martins forward that hadn't scored from play, but he finished it off very well today. You know, I think that's all the forwards have scored from play in their midfield as well.
5 minutes of additional time, Tom. So we're going to get 5 more minutes of entertainment on this Sunday evening. It's been a highly entertaining, interesting game, I suppose, but there's no doubt about the better team today.
There's no doubt, Liam, you know, and I think that 5 minutes it's a 5 minute lap of honour for
Jerry summed it up, 4 points in 40 minutes. It's totally on Oulart-The Ballagh like.
Yeah, I had a kind of a feeling, Liam, that the longer the game went on, if the Martins could stay in it, that they would be the team that had kind of, you know, taken a bit over more in the second half. But
that man Dahi Waters coming storming out of defence again. A brilliant storming run out of defence again. And the driving down the field. Joe Coleman. No, it's tailed wide this time for Joe. And that's the 9th wide for St. Martin's, 14 wides for Oulart-The Ballagh, and another young man getting a run, Michael Codd, getting a sense of a county final occasion. They'll celebrate in Pearsestown, but they won't be able to celebrate too long because they'll have to worry about a football final next week, Tom.
I'd say they'll get a couple of nights out of it at the same time, Liam.
Because they're fit.
Yeah, this is a big one for St. Martin's. I mean, this is their prime title target, and you know, they look like a team that could win the double, Liam, first time since St. Anne's.
There's the two great footballers combining Dahi Waters to Rory O'Connor over to the far side. Kieran Ling from a long way out. A superb point from Linger. What a contributor he's been to Wexford football. In particular, Kieran Ling, but an outstanding club hurler. 3 yards in on the far side of the field, 60 yards out, hitting over a brilliant point, 2-16 to 1-9. No doubt about the champions now.
Definitely no doubt about it, and they're finishing it in style as well. Even though movement here, Michael Codd, I think, after a ball in the corner, but they're closing down Oulart so quickly, and the hunger that the Martins have shown, especially, you know, after the first 10 minutes, has really deserved the victory that they got today.
The ball over towards Desi Myden. He's too late, really. No one will never know what his injury cost Oulart-The Ballagh, and it's Sean Murphy hitting it in. It's a one last blow as the ball lands up outside the 20-metre line, but it's touched away, and the ball touched off, and it's handled first, and it's with the cornerback Conor Furman, but it's well picked up. Good work off the boss of the hurl. He has plenty of men around the place looking around. There's men inside, but a rather greedy attempt at the post. Kieran Ling looking over. Look, did you not see me? Go to Specsavers in the morning, he's saying over. Who's he saying it to, Jerry? Mikey Coleman. Mikey Coleman. He was trying to make his name for himself that time. Linger inside. Doesn't matter. 2-16. That's 22 points to 12. That's a 10-point margin. We played 2.5 minutes of the additional 5 minutes. Dahi Waters is down injured. And you know what, fellas? I'm just thinking, I know that this mix, but Tom, as a player, isn't it wonderful today? Know you're going to win a senior hurling medal, and knowing then that you have another final next week. It's a wonderful feeling.
Yeah, this
must be a wonderful
I have
feeling.
to say, Liam, you know, you're talking about too many games and all that, but too much training was always the thing that got to me, I have to say. And if I was
I think the lad alongside you'd agree as well.
Well, if I was told I was going to be playing the county final every week, Liam, I'd be very, very happy about it, you know. So
but isn't it wonderful for those players now?
Oh, it is. It's fantastic. And I mean, you have your couple of days celebration, you go on then, Liam, you get ready for a county
They are fit,
final.
Tom.
Absolutely.
So a couple of days are not going to knock that much out of them.
And to be honest with you, Liam, in all fairness, you know, I mean, players go through their careers without playing in finals, and really, if you're playing games after game at this time of the year, it can't be a bad thing for a club.
Well, obviously it's not, Tom, from what we've seen today. I think Oulart will be disappointed though, Tom, won't they?
Well, they will be disappointed, Liam, but I think when Oulart look back on the whole thing, they'll say, look, we've had a very, very good run. They'll be back as one of the favourites for the championship next year. But you know, sometimes things they just didn't probably, they came with a big burst at the start. They showed an intent. But to be honest with you, Liam, overall the Martins, I always felt that possibly they have too much in the legs, and they did have too much in the legs, and really with no small bit of skill there, Liam. You look through all.
Another young 17-year-old is coming on, Tom. Owen O'Leary, outstanding minor, maybe 18 at this stage, but outstanding minors just come in to get a last few minutes, and that's it. St. Martin's are the county champions. The Pettitts senior hurling champions for 2017, their third title. They fully deserve it. 2-16 to 1-9. The turning point was Kieran Ling's goal 8 minutes before half time, turned the game on its head. Oulart-The Ballagh never recovered. St. Martin's justifiably the winners, Billy Byrne.
Oh, definitely so, Liam, you know, and you'd have to say that they won the senior, they won the junior A, and they won the under-21 Premier. It just tells you what they have down there, and you'd have to pay homage to the club with the work they have to put in, and it all come to fruition today as regards the game of hurling, you know. And a young team that really, you know, they're a shining light in Wexford at the minute, you know, with what they're doing, and I'd like to congratulate them from, you know, I know a few of them there have been involved in underage, and you just see the last 3 subs that they brought on were 3 actually minors. So it's like they're going to be there for a long, long time. As I say, it was only a matter of time when they won it. I thought myself it might take a bit longer, but I suppose Tomas Cott and John O'Connor didn't think that any, but they definitely deserve it. That's for sure.
Yeah. You know, when you look at that great Oulart team, Tom, I wonder how many of those guys now will, you know, call it a day. They've been great servants for their parish and their club. But on the day, I suppose you'd have to say the youth, the effervescent youth of the St. Martin's team was struggled for the opening 20 minutes. When they got going, you know, Oulart just couldn't handle it.
Well, yeah, I think on the day, and I think Desi Moyden obviously was a big loss to Oulart as well, you know. But on the day, Oulart, you know, the big performances didn't come from the Oulart side of the field, really. They were very dependent on the likes of Garrett Sinnott to get the few scores up there, Nicky Kerwin on frees. But if you look down through the Martins team, really, you know, you'd find it hard to pick fellas that didn't perform to the level that they wanted. You know, looking at Dahi Waters, obviously, Paddy Kelly were outstanding in the half-back line. Jake Furman with 3 points from play. Joe O'Connor with a goal. Jack O'Connor. Kieran Ling, you know, really did change the course of the game.
And there's the scores from play, Tom.
Yeah, and I mean, two goals and 12 points to St. Martin's to 1-3 does sum up what we've seen there for the last 45 minutes of the game, you know. And you know, it could be the changing in the guard here today, Liam. St. Martin's, Billy was saying, they brought on a few minors. They have an awful lot of underage talent, and certainly they're going to be the team to kind of compete with over the next couple of years. I don't think there'll be too many Oulart retirements, in fairness, because, you know, they'll stay with their club. Keith Roster is not getting too old, as the fella says, and you know, they'll just say to themselves, well, look, we didn't do ourselves justice today, maybe we'll just get back, give it one more shot and see can we get ourselves back to where we want to lean.
Yeah, but most of those guys don't owe anybody anything, Tom, and that Oulart-The Ballagh team. They've given supreme service to their county and to their club for so many years, a lot of them.
Yeah, and I think, Liam, it needs to be said at this stage that Oulart, of all clubs, when the call came from county teams, there was never an Oulart man didn't go and play with his county team, and I think that's a great tribute to that club, and I think they should be very proud of that. They always went out, you know, a couple of them went through years, maybe the Wexford weren't going as well, you know, in the early 2000s, that things weren't going as well, but, you know, you look down through that, like people that have played for Wexford over the years, you know, Keith Roster, Sean Murphy, Sean will play for a few, David Redmond, you know, Garrett Sinnott, Nicky Kerwin, Rory Jacob, Desi Might, they've all put on that Wexford jersey and they've always stood up to the call when they got it, Liam, and I think that they've done a great service to Wexford hurling over the last number of years. They've obviously nothing to be ashamed of. I'd say most of them have 8, 9, 10, 11 county medals in their back pocket, Liam, and they'll be remembered. It'll be remembered certainly as the greatest era of Oulart hurling ever, and you know, there's probably a bit more to come, but you don't see that type of success coming. You know, it's probably unprecedented, but certainly they've left nothing in the dressing room any day they ever went out to hurl for Oulart, Liam.
We've seen a precocious talent in Rory O'Connor today, Billy, but it was down to one of the old guard that we picked man of the match today, and that was the wonderful work of Dahi Waters.
Yeah, you know, you'd have to say a lot of youth on the St. Martin side, you know, came up trumps today, but the two older ones, Dahi Waters and Kieran Ling, you know, Kieran Ling scored 1-2 there, a crucial goal at the right time, and the great combination of youth and experience there today is what won it out. But as I say again, I think there's a hell of a lot more in this St. Martin's team as regards their ability to hurl. There was a bit of pressure on them today. The show was a bit of nerves on maybe 10 or 15 minutes, but once they got their noses in front, they never looked like they were going to lose the lead, to be honest with you, Liam. You know, they're tackling, you know, they're really, in fairness to them, they chased every ball. The hunger was great, and it was great. Well done, Jake. But
Jake Furman is here. Jake, thanks for coming up the steps. Well done. 3 points today. You must be delighted, are you?
Look, it's been 3 years coming now, and we've been on the go for so long, and I mean, it means the world to us all, you know. That just shows out there today what it means to the parish of Pearstown and Morntown to get over the line today, and all I can say is thank you very much to Moss Cod for sticking with us down through the years, and obviously it's tough going hurling football, but we love it, you know, we love it, that's why we play. No such thing as player burnout, we love it.
And now you're going into a football final in great. I know you'll enjoy yourselves for a couple of days, but then you prepare for another county final next week. Isn't it great to be a footballer and hurler in Wexford?
What can I say? Look, we'll lay our hair down tonight and maybe enjoy ourselves, but once tomorrow comes, we get to the pool, do a recovery and get going for next Sunday. Big test against the Starlights, so looking forward to it though.
You looked a little nervous at the start, didn't you? And then Rory, quick free to Kieran, he finished, and it seemed as if somebody opened the door for you, let the lid off the pressure cooker, and you just flew then after that.
Yeah, I mean, look, we have the experience of 2 years ago, and I suppose we can't say anything was new today, but obviously the first 5 or 10 minutes are shaking, getting to grips with the surface and how the game is going, the ebb and flow of it, but thankfully we settled in, excellent quick thinking by Rory and Kieran to get that goal, gets back into it, and luckily we're just absolutely delighted.
And you knew you could win, of course you did, before you went out.
There was a lot of confidence and belief inside our dressing room, you know, and we didn't really think too much about what was being said outside. We knew ourselves we had a team to do damage, and we just stuck with each other and you know, drove each other on throughout the year. And you know, maybe we weren't going that well. Maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago we were only scraping through games, the Buffers Alley game especially. But we dug deep and there was questions asked, and thank God we answered them.
Yeah, and everybody, you know, all of you came up through underage together, the outstanding success you've had in underage minor, under 21. You know, you've dominated Wexford underage, and that surely stood to you the day when you went out together, because when it got tough, you were able to dig deep because you knew you could do it, you've done it before.
Yeah, I suppose, like everyone says, winning is a habit, and down through the years we've been lucky enough to get a lot of successes. It's down to the lads back home, you know. I remember under 10, even under 12, the lads have stuck with us, and they're out there today and they love it as well. So it's all thanks to them, it's all thanks to the club. Everyone is working together, and it's just a fantastic thing to be part of, and I'm just so grateful that we got over the line today. I'm absolutely delighted.
Listen, go down and enjoy the celebration with the cup. Thanks for coming up, Jake.
Cheers.
That's Jake Furman there, scored 3 points, and Davy Fitzgerald is in front of me. I'm sure he's another young man that he took a keen interest in today. Davy, first of all, nice to talk to you. Interesting county final.
Probably got the first 20 minutes and you think, oh, they're well on top, they missed the 3 chances, but at the end of the day, probably the best team in the world.
Yeah, that improvisation by Rory O'Connor and the experience of Kieran Ling to, you know, turn the game, didn't it, for St. Martin?
Just had the Martins were very economical with the ball of things in the head out, they had good passes, got good scores, but at the same time, our team, they were 4 or 5 points up and they could have been 7 admire the Martin lads. They played very well, they used the ball well, and just showing at the end they were flying at the end.
Absolutely. From your own point of view, you're back for another year. You've done a lot of work already behind the scenes. A couple of players have decided that the demands that are put on the current intercounty player have stepped away. And some new players.
Some we let go, some with as a roll a car. I understand that. Listen, it's tough going.
Virtuous Hurling Ballagh. Congratulations to St. Martin's. Today is a special day for Wexford and doesn't happen without many people. To our sponsors, Pettitts, Innovate Wexford Park sponsors, to all the stewards, gate men, the various committees, referees, and of course the staff of Wexford Park. Before we do, I now present the cup to James, the St. Martin's team.
I said that to Frank last night, or the other day. It was a 3 from Evan and said,
We gave man of the match to Dahi Waters. He was outstanding today, wasn't he?
He's unbelievable. If you gave Dahi a cup for every time he was man of the match, I think his house would be full at this stage. He's unbelievable for us. He's dragged us through matches at times. He's just he's a proper man, a proper leader. He's unbelievable.
Great feeling, Willie.
Yeah, fantastic, delighted, relieved.
And another county final next week. Doesn't stop.
Oh no, pity there's only 2. We won't argue. We'll kind of regroup now after this. We'll enjoy tonight. We will indeed, and we'll go out next week when it comes.
Well done, Willie. And Jack O'Connor's here. Jack, for a minute there, I'm glad you didn't go because I had 3 O'Connors around me. I was getting worried that I was being surrounded by O'Connors. But well done today, Jack. A great feeling.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant feeling. That's something you dream of when you're younger, and fair play to Oulart for being able to do it for the last 8 or 9 years. And when you're playing one, you really know how hard it is to win one. And I'm just absolutely delighted we got across the line. We're a few years coming now, knocking, so just thank God we got over the line today there.
And when you got that vital goal, it seemed to lift a weight off your shoulders or something, because Oulart started well, and yet you scored 2-12 from play. They only scored 1-3 from play.
Yeah.
Shows gives testament to how good your defence was.
The defenders were top class today. Any ball that went down on Dottie, Willie, Aaron Maddock, them lads, Paddy O'Connor, all came out with it, in fairness to them, and that's what sets up the forwards. And the space we had there, we knew we had the forwards to take them on. As later the game got, when we got a sniff of a goal, that was the time to put the game to bed as best we could. So we're just really delighted that we did put it to bed.
Is there any talk about hurling in the O'Connor household this week?
I know. try stay
You spoke about something else.
Stay away from it, keep your mind off something else. 4 of us there, or 3 of us there, so it's better off just to think of something else, and then on the day just go hard, Don't be.
Congratulations, Jack, and enjoy next week's county final.
Thanks very much. Cheers. Thank you.
That's Jack O'Connor. We've nearly spoke to everybody bar the bus driver. Billy is gone. Jerry is still here. And in Trawling county final, St. Martin's winning their 3rd county championship. The Pettitts senior hurling champions for 2017. Fully deserving. We got a word with Davy Fitzgerald as well, so we might get a chance to hear that Davy Fitzgerald talk after the game. Jerry, we'll have full time, we'll have more interviews in the sports show this evening from 6 to 7. Don't forget to go along to the Riverside Park Hotel tomorrow evening, because Tony Dorn is launching his autobiography, and This Is Your Life with Seamus Walsh in the Clockbawn. And next Saturday night, the St. Martins are still on the field. They won't be got out of Innovate Wexford Park for a long time this evening, and who would blame them? They've been worthy champions Oulart-The Ballagh for a long number of years, represented their parish really well. But today they were second best against the new kids on the block. But it was 2 of the old boys who did the damage, Dahi Waters and Kieran Ling. St. Martins are county champions.